Trev. And a very good afternoon to you right across the Riverland and Mallee and around the world on iHeartRadio. It is Five Room Football live from Waikerie this afternoon for the prelim final between the Waikerie Magpies and the Loxton Tigers. Lockie Whittle is my name. Alongside me is Travis Dubridge, and as well on the boundary this afternoon. Right now is Nobby Norton. Dubes, Nobby, good afternoon to both of you.
Yeah, good afternoon, fellas, and welcome to the Waikerie Oval.
And Dubes, welcome to the commentary box alongside me this afternoon.
Yes, thanks, Lockie. Trev, good afternoon to you, good afternoon to the listeners, and we're here for the big preliminary final. There's no tomorrow, Nobby Norton.
No, there isn't, Travis. Look, down here on ground, I've just been part of the celebration of the run-on of Craig Miller, who's playing his 250th game today, and for Waikerie, and a Waikerie champion. And he'll be looking to make sure that his season finishes on 251 and not 250, and I think Waikerie are a pretty good chance of that. I'll let you boys go through the outs shortly, but down here at ground level, it's an interesting day. I mean, we've had 3 seasons in one day already, and sun's out, ground's in good condition, good coverage of grass, but very dry underfoot, boys, and probably could have done with a couple of mils on it during the week. I might have to talk to someone through the week and let them know that it could have been a little bit moister. Breeze coming straight across the ground, east to west. I don't think it's favouring either end, boys, and we're in for a pretty good contest.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Look, both sides having their final meetings at the moment. Loxton, they've had the week off. They're pretty fresh. They won the semi-final a couple of weeks ago, which earned them the week off. Waking on the other hand, we saw them last week at Renmark. They battled hard for a quarter against Renmark, but after that, Renmark simply outclassed them. Look, Dubes, Nobby, look, Waikery's home final, it's fortuitous, but they need every advantage they can get this afternoon, really.
I'm a bit glass half full with Waikerie last week, actually. Lockie, I sort of went back and watched the tape during the week, and apart from probably 25 minutes during the second, the start of the third, they're into that game up to their ears. So, look, I know me and Nobby saw him played in here a couple of weeks ago, and Loxton got smashed in the middle of that day, didn't they, Nobby? Waikerie took full control of the guts. So we're looking for Gucci and his cohort mates inside to get the job done today.
We sure are, Trav, and they'll need to turn things around drastically from that game. But, hey, interesting up forward. Raph Little and Harder both starting far forward. First time we've seen Raph in the A grade this year, and I think he might be just the thing for him to straighten him up a bit. For Waikerie, they're starting with a 250 gamer Craig Miller in the square that end. So pretty similar approach from both sides.
Yep, look, couple of changes of note just quickly. Jack Burgermeister, of course, Waikerie, he is going to be one to watch. But Lockie Nitschke comes back into the side for the Magpies. Dylan Gollan goes out. For Loxton, it's Michael Reichstein in, Dylan Millard out as the first siren gets underway to get this prelim final underway. Loxton get the first tap, but it's Waikerie that get the first inside 50 through Spenceley. There's a loose footy in the 50 for the Magpies. They're kicking to the town end, but it's Loxton that managed to clear it out just. A hot footy, they're all diving on it. The Waikerie Magpies look hungry, and we're going to get a ball up. Travis Dubridge.
Yeah, Mitchie Hart for Waikerie going in hard there. Interesting to note, started the game like a rocket last week. Look for Mitch to carry on his good form. It's 50 out from Wakerie's goal. They get the tap forward. It's going to be picked off by Gucci for the Tigers. Hamill's over, picked up by Moon. Flying shot on goal. It's going to get close. It's going to be defended well from the Loxton defence there. They get it through for a minor score. So first score of the day, it's Waikerie 1 behind. Loxton get the score.
Yeah, on the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard, the Loxton Tigers take the kick out. They come change room side towards the broadcast position. A good tap there from Grieger from the Magpies. Ball getting close to the boundary. There's Schmicker Hill. He gets a handball out for the Tigers through Gucci over to Fisher, the ruckman. Gucci tries to pick it back up again, and there's Bobolak in there, but we're going to get a free kick to the Tigers, and that's Will Gucci. He's going to have to play a big game today if the Tigers are going to go make it through to that grand final, Travis.
Yeah, so Gucci at half-back. He'll just kick long down the line looking for the target. Comes out. It's going to be Raph Little. Flies high for the ball. Goes. Picks up at ground level by Jesse Will. Through half forward. He kicks up towards Luke Harder. Gets pushed in the back from Venning. Play on is the call. Players flying around. Ends up with Heusler. Over to Guillaume for the Magpies and off half-back. They find the spare man there in Colbert in the middle of the ground. Gets crunched. Welcome to finals football. That's what it's all about. As they still hold the ball there through Braun, over to Bevan. They finally get the free man out there through Guillaume, who releases Matt Spenceley. Just misses the target. Ends up with Jared B. Back to Matt Spenceley and over to Heusler on the outer side.
Heusler with the footy taken, a ground tackled. What's the umpire going to say? Todd Charlton says my ball. We're going to get a ball up around 60 metres out from the Loxton goal. They're kicking to the river end. Colbert, good tap. Has another bite at it. Doesn't go too far. Good bit of defensive pressure there from the Tigers in the contest. And we're going to get another ball up.
Tigers started much more aggressive at the ball this time around.
Had to do that. They've been building up early in previous encounters against the Magpies. But Jared Beale gets the footy over to Guillaume. That's about his fourth touch early. Straight through the middle of the ground. This is what I'm talking about. Hits Burgermeister, lace out. Bit of run and lap back to Guillaume. Kicks up towards half forward. Miller comes out. Straight lines the footy. Takes it with him. Picked up by Geezer Guillaume again. Umpire will circle. But Guillaume there, a bit of run and carry and collect there, Nobby Norton.
Talk about straight lining the ball. Craig Miller wasn't taking a step around anyone.
Miller wins the tab, gets it over to Jake Spenceley, shrugs the shoulders, gets through, right foot across goal. It's Gould Loxton out there. No, he finds a target. Jared B's drifted down off his wing, and he's taken the mark. Lockie Winnell about 45 out.
Yeah, look, kicking to the town end. There's not too much breathe. Quick kick over the top. Who's he spotted up? And he's found Matt Spenceley.
There was 3 Waikerie guys there all by themselves.
And you cannot let a side like Waikerie do that, Travis.
No, and this is the problem going forward. We spoke pre-game about too much room in the previous encounters for the Waikerie on-ballers. It's going to be Matt Spenceley from 45 out. Takes a flying shot. It's punched back into play. Actually, it's still alive. No, it's not. It's going to go back.
Who's on those players, fellas? Have we found out who's actually manning up Matt Spenceley yet?
Well, the previous encounter, guys.
Gucci, I think. Gucci.
Previous encounter, the 2 Spenceleys and Moon had 100 touches between them.
Yep.
Now, if they're going to get that many today, Loxton can't win.
It is 5-round football for McDonald's Renmark. Good kick out from the Tigers. Manages to find Bobolak on the left back flank. Looking for a target. There's a few people screaming for it. Decides to, shocking kick, and it's found its way to Craig Miller, who was doing the Adam Gilchrist to pick it up. We've seen the Tigers now. Good bit of work through Cale Smith. And a good handball out the back.
Got to kick it.
Yeah, Talon Eagle's looking for it, but it's a good tackle from the Tigers. Talon Eagle back on the footy again. And now it's looking towards Geeman Geezer. He's taken over the line by Ross Romeo, and we'll get a ball in in front of us.
I think Loxton got to be a bit more assertive with the ball, Travis, and get it forward.
Lockie Bradley locking off half back, looking to handball to a 1 versus 3 Wakerie's way is probably not the right option.
Yeah.
So Fisher and Colbert in the ruck. Bradley looking to shark the footy out of the contest, but a good bit of work from Matt Spenceley over the top to Grieger. He finds Jake Spenceley back inboard, but the ball spills loose. Brody Hill dives on it, but Spenceley's still looking hungry for the footy. And now it's Gucci that takes the footy and clears it out of the contest, but a shocking kick around the corner. It's managed to get it back to him. Sort of ducks the tackle. There's Fisher, the other one, and he gets a handball out to Langy, but now it's the Magpies through Bevan, who gets a lovely kick into the 50, hooking for the target in Gordon. The Tigers through Luke Salmon managed to clear it out, and a good bit of work from Lockie Evans as well, Travis.
Off he goes. The kick down towards centre, wing out of side. It's going to be a contest out there. Good work from Colbert, the ruckman for the Magpies. Gives it to Heusler. He looks up. Hits Burgermeister. One out, about 65 out from his attacking goal. Waikerie kicking towards the town end here. He'll play on quickly. Looks out wide. Good use from the body there by Miller. Couldn't take it. Allows Spenceley and Loxton. Flood around for Shea Langy. Picked up by Miller. A 200-game player. 250-game player has kicked it out of bounds.
Oh, it is 5-run football for McDonald's Renmark. 5.5 minutes gone, first quarter.
Gee, fellas, Waikerie look like they're up. They're getting more numbers to the ball at the moment and having the output in contested ball win.
So Lockie Bradley plays on for Loxton. Last touch out of bounds for all. He finds John Fisher. Just from centre half. Kicks out towards centre half back. Dangerous kick. Waikerie get back. They hunt the ball. Well done by Big Gordon there. Looked like a broken down horse last week. He's on the oval today running well. Gordon kicks it inside 50. Burgermeister now. Over to Jake Spenceley. Finds a free man there in B. Just kicks to the hot spot. Players will fly. Bevan takes the mark.
Great mark.
Might I just say, Bevan, an unmanned Bevan. He's gone down into that forward line and unmanned, and he's going to make him pay.
And that is the MTSA mark of the day so far, and that is going to be hard to beat in this first quarter.
He showed signs last week, Nobby.
Yep.
He's back to his best.
Yeah, it's like he's like a racehorse that's been out for a while, Travis. Every run he's just picking up fitness. And
so Tim Bevan, the ex-Willis medalist, has kicked the first goal of the preliminary final. Waikerie 1-2-8. Loxton yet to score.
I reckon he kicked the last goal of the game we were here last time, didn't he?
He did in his
200.
200.
So he knows where they are, and he's started off the same way as he finished that game. Hey, look, Loxton got to hang on here. Waikerie have had far more of the ball and far more of the play, and are getting numbers to the ball. Loxton need to answer.
It all happens in the midfield.
Yep.
And at the moment, there's early signs that it might be a long day for Loxton inside. Their midfielders need to get busy locking.
Win the hard ball too.
A ball back in the centre. It's Colbert and Fisher that do the ruck work. Fisher manages to get the advantage. It's a good handball off the deck from Gucci that finds Lockie Evans. He kicks towards half forward. No one from Loxton able to take it cleanly, and the Magpie defenders are working hard. Oh, now it's Talon Eagle over to Jesse Will. Can we see a goal here from John Fisher? No, he handballs to Luke Harder. Luke Harder goes around one, kicks 90 degrees and finds Jonty Bates loose in the 50. Ball taken from after he marked it, but he's not going to get a 25-metre penalty. He's going to have to kick it from where he marked it.
Not bad work from Harder on the non-preferred right leg.
So we've said it before, the best opposite foot player in the comp.
I was just opening
Said a
the
few
door.
things about him in the last couple of weeks.
I
Just
was
quietly.
just opening the door for you there, Trav, to throw that one in. But it was a good kick. And
What I liked about it, he looked for the option for the handball first. It wasn't on. Didn't pull the U-turn, just turned and found the easy target.
yeah, it would have been so easy to swing under his left and have a ping a goal, wouldn't it?
Here we go. Jonty Bates lines up, and it's a minor score. Their first attempt on the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard is a minor, so it's Waikerie 1-2-8, leading the Loxton Tigers one behind.
As we saw in the seconds, early misses can be costly.
Yeah, you've got to play a territory game now, the Tigers. Got to try and lock it in their forward half and make Waikerie defend. Take some gas out of the Magpies.
So kick out from the Magpies, small kick into the pocket, and I reckon that's Burgermeister with the footy. Small kick and finds Braun. And the Magpies just worked this one out, very calculated. All loose footy on half-back. They try to dodge a few, handball to ground. The Tigers look hungry. Great pick-up from Jesse Will. He finds Gucci. Gucci was tackled from Spenceley. And we'll get another ball up.
A couple of interesting matchups, boys. Shea Langy on Gordon, just swapping off him, and Salmon coming on him as Langy drops back. Ross Romeo coming on him as Langy drops back as the loose man.
And Lockie Bradley on Moon. Close check, keep an eye on that one.
So the ball's still in this contest after the ball up. Hasn't gone too far. We'll get another ball up.
It's almost like Langy's playing the role that Coach Millard normally plays, that sweeper.
Yeah, but at the other end, it leaves Guillaume or Braun free, so it's probably a win for the Magpies. Loxton to get the clearance. It's going to be Eagle. Kicks it up towards full forward. Liddell comes out. Dives, takes the mark. No, play on's the call. Would have been paid at the B grade ref. Comes back out towards centre half forward for the Tigers. In there's Big Grieger. Talon Eagle, get out of my way, wins the ball. Umpire has hit him holding the ball. Unlucky, but
Come on, reward the bloke going for the ball.
going to be a free kick to Burgermeister at half-back. Had a good season for the Magpies. Kicks down. Kicks to Burgermeister. Takes the mark. Comes out towards Smith for Waikerie. And now Campbell and Loxton are away, Lockie.
Yep, we're going to get another free here to the Magpies, and that's the 26 of Smith that kicks back inboard. Finds Braun, who finds Game. Good kick across the field to the 3 of Mitch Hahn, who's back from West Adelaide. And Travis, he's here for the whole final series. Kicks into the forward 50 for the Magpies. No one able to mark it. Brendan Moon was there, but couldn't get near it, and the Tigers worked this one out. And there he is again, the trusty defender in Brody Hill, who a lovely kick down the line. Looks for the target in Campbell, and I reckon he's going to get the advantage. He's going to get the mark here.
Brody Hill having a bit of a tidy-up during the week. Quite a snazzy hairdo he's got going there.
Harley Campbell, centre wing. He's going to look up. He kicks down the line, gets the lead from Eagle, but Stephen Braun, he's been doing it for years, intercepts it. They win the ball back through Lockie Nitschke, the under-18s captain. He's kicked it out of bounds on the fall. And win, lose or draw, Lockie's playing in the grand final next week.
Yep, 2 right.
Yep, under-18s, they are in. Look, we spoke about it last week. We said Nitschke had to play today for the A's, and it's good to see the Waikerie coaching staff did listen to our suggestion.
Hill plays on from half-back, goes up towards Jesse Will. Good strong mark at centre-half forward. You've got to make Braun accountable. That's what he's done. Looks up, has Hart in the middle of the ground. Guillaume tries to shark it. Picked up from Mitchy Hahn. Oh, you'll know that Hart has tackled him. Wins the ball back. Play on the advantage. Johnny Fisher pushed in the back as he kicked it.
Come on,
And it'll be a free kick down the field.
Interesting play there by Hahn. He was ready to go, but he didn't realise how to stretch out.
I reckon I said that last week. I'd like to see those two stand each other.
Yeah, and there they are.
Jonty Bates with the footy. He's going to be kicking from it's 45 out, but decides to go a small kick to the pocket and tries to find the target in Evans, but was pushed over the boundary line. We get a ball in.
A little bit of two grabbing by the Tigers. They got to nail those.
Bit of Dustin Martin about Evans playing him.
Yeah, very much so. Yep. That didn't work out really the other night.
So a ball in, just
Close.
around from the Loxton goals, but it's the Magpies through Jake Spencer that clear it out. He brings the ball back inboard, and no one was able to mark it, but they all flew. That was Mitch Hahn, very spectacular. And now the Tigers and Magpies both try to work this one out, but it's Brody Hill to Harder. Harder, kick around the corner quickly, but it's managed to find the Magpies. And they will bring this one back out. Oh no, intercept mark from Will Gucci.
Yeah, Will Gucci on fire at the moment. Best player on the ground for mine. Looks up, has options, just goes long to the goal square. Little's there, chance to mark it with Venning. Well done by Venning. Gets the ball towards the boundary line. It won't be denied. It's over to Will, back to Little. Little looks around for a handball. Team first, over to Harder. Big Luke Harder on the left foot. Beautiful kick out wide, hits the target. Good play, Loxton. Johnny Fisher, 40 out, straight in front.
I think, guys, Johnny Fisher is the matchup for Matt Spenceley, and I think he's probably shading him a bit at the moment. He's taken him to where Spenceley doesn't like to go, into the opposition's back line.
Yeah, and it's
his back line. Sorry.
It's what the Loxton on-ballers do well.
Yep.
It's the other side of the equation that worries me defensively. But in he comes. Johnny Fisher from 40 out, straight in front, kicks through the ball. His team needs a goal. It's fading late, but he's done the job.
Yep, and the Loxton Tigers respond on the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard at 117, trailing the Magpies 1-2 out. It is 5-round football for McDonald's Renmark, and they are kicking goals for local Riverland sport.
Small win there for Johnny Fisher to get one up on Spenceley, because guaranteed Spenceley will hit the scoreboard the other end. So good victory.
Much maligned player at Loxton, Johnny Fisher. I know there's a few people that think his disposal sometimes can let him down, Nobby.
Yep.
But to me, he's a bloke that plays to his limitations, and that's what he's got to do. Full tick to the young fella there.
Yep, and he's got a good motor.
He has, yeah.
Yep, just short of 14 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. First quarter, prelim final for the winner. It's a game next week at the Lakeside Oval in Barmera.
The tag in the middle is interesting. Lockie, Bradley and Moon. Harder tries to get involved with the block, but Waikerie will get the clearance. But no, it's going to be a turnover. Kasolki charges us half back, gets tackled by Spenceley.
Good work by Kasolki then. He took the ball up and took it to them.
So another ball up, not far from the centre circle. Fisher, good tap. Harder was there, but he couldn't get it. And there he is. Johnny Fisher again manages to clear it out. It's Harley Campbell looking for the footy. He has shrugged the tackle. Gucci sort of got a kick as he was tackled, but it was a bit too late. And it's the Magpies that get the free on half back, and that's Bevan with the footy. He plays on quickly, looks straight up the ground. Harder was there for the Tigers, but it's going to be Bobolak that manages to scrape it up out the back of the contest. Handball sideways to Brody Hill. He kicks around the corner and finds Johnny Fisher in the middle.
They're on.
Handball to Harder.
Over
Travis,
Harder.
take it away.
Harder on the left foot, kicks up towards Little at centre half forward. Guards the space beautifully, does Raff. Looks in board. He's got a free man charging towards goals. It's bouncing. Oh! It was almost that soccer crossball, Lockie Winnell.
A minor score for Raff.
Probably should have had the shot.
Yep. Mind you, the older you get, Trav, the less you can kick it.
Yes.
Had set shots, although that was in his range, I figure.
So it's going to be Venning at fullback. Plays it over. Guillaume for Waikerie. Looks out wide. Got Jake Spenceley. Drops what he should have taken. Umpires played it. Yes.
Gee whiz, that's going to be a hard act for the ump to follow. He sort of blew that whistle in anticipation, didn't he?
Gets it over to Smith. Smith for Waikerie. Hits Burgermeister. Centre half forward. Front and squares. Tim Bevan runs past. On the right foot. Kicks up towards Dusty Gordon. The man that looked very sore last week. Looks in good nick early. He's been cast to play on, just chips it forward. Bevan runs into space again. That's good hard work from Tim Bevan.
Tell you what, this is vintage Tim Bevan today. We've had, 15 minutes, and this is the 2015 Tim Bevan running around this afternoon. The Willis medalist himself from a few years ago. Ball now in the deep in the Waikerie attacking 50, goes to ground, and
Look, guys, Tim Bevan's probably not getting the number of possessions he previously got, but gee whiz, efficiency 100%.
Yeah, work rate's good, so it's falling up. Waikerie forward to centre. Big Craig Fisher couldn't pull it in. Umpire's going to throw it up again. No, he's going to play a free kick off the ball to Lockie Bradley. So the man on the tagging job, Moon's just giving him one to go on with there. And Lockie Bradley will chip further afield and find Salmon. This is a young man, Lockie, I think can be a future midfield star of this competition, and he'll play on quickly.
It's a tight contest, all locked up on the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard, and a great mark, centre wing from Tristan Guillaume. For the Magpies, he'll look to drive it back into the attacking 50, but just waiting for some players to move around. A calculated kick inboard, finds Mitch Hahn, but it spills through Kasolki for the Tigers and over to Lange. The Tigers look to clear it out, but this is a dangerous kick, and Jared B looks like he's hungry. He dives on the footy. What's going to happen here? I reckon we're going to get a ball up, and Jared B, that's a great bit of courageous play.
You just can't miss the kick.
No, that's a win for Waikerie, shutting down that exit and getting another chance forward.
So a ball up just outside the Magpies 50 arc, clubroom side. Jake Spenceley looks to dodge one, dodges another one, gets a handball out just. This loose footy again is players running everywhere for the footy. You've got Stephen Braun in there as well, I reckon. And now it's Lockie Bradley for the Tigers that gets a kick over the top. A handball quickly over to Jack Evans for the Tigers. Raff Little's the target. Oh, he manages to pick one off the back. It's a loose footy rolling to the 50, to the goals. Does this go through? Raff Little, hits the post. He's given us some highlights already, Raff Little.
Yeah,
for the Loxton to the Tigers forward. And the Magpies look to clear this one out very quickly.
Out they go, out wide. It's got to be Jake Spenceley all by himself. He'll look in board. He'll look for his brother. Quite often does. Hits him in the centre of the ground. Too much space here at the moment. But Loxton have stopped Waikerie playing on, so that's a win. Just kicks up towards centre half forward. Players will fly. Gordon, Duke's extended, couldn't take it. Bevan over the back to Mitch Hahn. Mitch Hahn will cross the paint at 50. He'll take a bounce. He's getting caught. He gets a little kick forward. Play on's a call. Shay Lange needs to come back now and hold himself up. Can't panic. Decides to kick long. Johnny Fisher all by himself. That's good play from the Loxton Tigers.
Yeah, they got out of jail there. A quick handball over to Brody Hill. He kicks down the line, looks for Evans. Unable to mark it, spills over the back, and Talon Eagle off the bench. He's coming in.
Oh, no.
Tristan Guillaume, a handball over to Spenceley. Then through the middle, through Ben Smith. And they work this one forward. Travis.
Yeah, I think Evans got a bit corky there. Not the hamstring. He's run it out. Over to Matt Spenceley now. He comes back in board looking for Craig Miller. Doesn't panic. Hits Tim Bevan up. Just like a training drill, the Magpies move the ball forward. Look across. There's players everywhere for the Magpies on the outer side if he wants. He says, no, I'm going to get it. Going to take some ground. He kicks up long. Looking for Big Burgermeister. Players fly. Well done from Miller. Boy, Lockie Bradley takes the shark at ground level. Players everywhere. Umpire Charlton says, give it to me. So we're at 1 goal, 2 Waikerie to Loxton 1-3.
So, interesting change to Loxton's style. Without Millard and the team, they seem to be handballing more forward than across.
I think they've learned a lesson from the last time they played the Maggies. Gordon goes a little snap. Gucci wins the ball. Just clears it out towards Big Eagle at centre half back. Couldn't take it. Bates comes in. He couldn't get the ball. Bevan again. Another touch. Over to Jake Spenceley. Just keeps racking them up. Ball goes out of bounds. Big Talon Eagle.
Eagle having trouble getting up off the ground there, Trav.
Someone's got a free here.
He's tough, eh? He's tough.
Here, Jonty Bates from the Loxton Tigers takes the free. A shocking kick off the ground, finds John Fisher. John Fisher, quick kick, going to a contest. I reckon the Magpies and Evans for the Tigers able to got his hands on it, but it didn't. Not able to claim the mark. There's a hot footy. Everyone dives on it, stacks on the mill, and that is going to be a ball up.
Time one of the first quarter, Nobby. Win for Loxton at the moment?
Yes, I think so. And I think the young blokes are right in it, and a quarter of finals footy like this won't do anything but help them.
Up they go again. Going to be Fisher. Gets it down to his namesake there. Kicks along and towards it. Campbell at half forward.
And this is one of the blokes I'm talking about. He's coming into his own big time for a teenager.
Harley Campbell. Still a long way out, decides to go short. Gets to the little lead from Talon Eagle. The big fella's had a good season, playing the hardest spot on the ground. He's just going to wind up and kick it to the hot spot. No, he goes back. Umpire sends him back over the mark.
Look, he's just sneaking on here.
Luke
Decided
Harder
to go back. Over to Jesse Will. Harder will come through. He wants the ball. No, he's going to go further to Shay Lange. Good pressing up from the Loxton Tigers here. Lange has to move the ball a bit quicker now as he's been shut down.
In his pocket.
Not panicking. Comes back across to Cale Smith. And Big Smithy, he'll just go playing a bit of keepings off here at the moment.
Yeah, Jesse Will with the footy now. What's he going to do? He's just outside the painted 50. Decides to kick to the centre of the field. Raph Little was the target. He wasn't able to mark it. And now the Magpies look to clear this one out. And they look pretty dangerous. Back through the middle of the field. What's going to happen here? We've got a contest in the middle. Jake Spenceley flies. No one able to mark it. Still trying to mop up the footy. Goes to ground on the centre circle. And there's a push in the back paid. And the Magpies will get the free. And that's Jake Spenceley with the footy.
He's been busy, Spenceley. Jake Spenceley again kicks to his brother. Over to Matt Spenceley. Gets a bit of run and overlap from young Nitschke now. It's good play by the young fella. Kicks down the line. Has Bevan again. He's had multiple. He would have touched the ball at least 10 times in this first quarter.
He's their avenue forward through his half-forward flank.
So Bevan about 55 out. Looks up. Gets a lead. Has Guillaume going for the ball. Running forward to the ground. They'll jump high on the top of the goal square. Players will fly balls on the ground. Guillaume gets a little toe poke. Picked up from Salmon for Loxton. Salmon not panicking. Forward does, just gets a quick kick out, back towards his Bevan. Bevan for the Magpies now, just stops over to Smithy. Smithy lowers the eyes and it's Guillaume up. Good football, Loxton, Waikerie.
Great football by Smith, just shouldered Jesse Will off the ball at the right time and disposed of it perfectly.
Yeah, Ben Smith from the Waikerie Magpies, proving pretty handy so far. Umpire Todd Charlton just telling Tristan Game to come around a little bit.
Krieger sneaks in.
There it is, quarter time, but Tristan Gaiman's got the footy.
Is it barrel time, Lockie?
He's kicking. He'll be kicking from 50 out. He's not often a renowned goal kicker. I mean, saying that, he's more a half-back flank type operator. Tristan Gaiman kicking to the town end.
Ooh,
it's got a little bit of height, but it's going to fall about 10 metres short. And there it is, quarter time here at the prelim final at Waikerie. It's the Loxton Tigers 139 leading the Waikerie Magpies 128. 5-room football for McDonald's Renmark. No, it's not. Look at Waikerie at the moment. It's the Loxton Tigers leading by 1 point. Lockie Winnell, Nobby Norton and Travis Dubridge this afternoon. Nobby, you are boundary side. You're on the ground, mate. You went to the huddles. What did you hear?
Yeah, well, at Loxton it was split into the groups, defence, and they all had a very good chat and worked out what they're doing. For Waikerie, it was all in together and they're still there. Interesting to note, fellas, Mitch Hahn having a change of Guernsey. He's been separated from his number 3 now, has number 27 on. The Guernsey that came off and had a little bit of attention. Someone trying to get to know him a bit better than he wanted. So that Guernsey's off him. Look, down here, boys, I think that maybe Waikerie get to go with a slight hand of a breeze this quarter, but Loxton would be happy that they're still in the game.
Thank you, Nobby. Look, second quarter about to get underway. Travis, look, we saw both huddles up here from the great broadcasting spot here. Loxton have got a lot of supporters here this afternoon at the Waikerie Magpie Nest.
Should denote a lot of Loxton North and Renmark people around listening to their coach, and that's good.
It certainly is. Look, umpires just wanting the crowd to leave. This is often the case in finals. There's a few supporters around the place.
I don't know if Nobby can hear us or not as he comes back up, but for mine, the tag at the moment of Bradley on Moon is effective for the Tigers.
Yep.
Waikerie need to try and get Moon into the game.
Yeah, I think move him out of the middle and onto a wing.
Yep.
Well, he's taken Bradley forward to start the quarter, so we'll keep an eye on that. But obviously he was the man that had a lot of damage in the last time these two teams played. So up to start the second quarter, it's going to be Colbert and Fisher to do battle in the middle of the ground. They fly. Colbert wins the tap. Goes backwards. The two Spenceley boys combine to win the clearance. Handballs over towards Nitschke for Waikerie. Well done there from Bates for Loxton. He's going to get the free kick for being held. So it goes back. Jonty Bates gets the chance for Loxton to put him inside 50 for the first time. As you heard, kicking into the bit of a breeze over to Kasulki. On the left foot, he comes out wide looking for Big Eagle. Duke's extended, takes the mark.
Yeah, perfectly placed kick. The ball holding up a little bit, but Eagle guarding the space.
Great mark from Talon Eagle. Kicks over the top, quick looking for Harder. Harder unable to mark. It's a loose footy in the pocket. Harder goes to ground. Yeah, it's a bit of a stacks on situation. We get a ball up. Look, do you think Talon Eagle might have been better just to back himself in to kick that one to Doobs?
No, I think there's an actual fair breeze out there. It looks the ball like the ball's holding up probably a good 5 to 6 metres then in for mine. But it comes out wide again. It's going to be out there. It's Grieger for Waikerie fighting out there with...
Look, I think it was a win for Loxton just to get a possession inside the 50, and as long as Eagle can keep doing that for them, they're going to be a chance.
Get a ball in right in front of the Waikerie club room, soon to be former. Ball in. It's Craig Fisher in the ruck who tried to clear it out, but as is the case when you're a ruckman and you clear it out, if you don't get any clear possession, it's holding the ball, and it's the Magpies that get it out through Colbert. Gets quick hands over to Matt Spenceley and a kick down the line from Grieger. And a good mark in the middle from Stephen Braun. He looks to turn quickly. Kicks down the line. Looks who sees. The ball falls short. It's Burgermeister, but a great lead nonetheless. And there's Brody Hill, the Tiger veteran. But it's a loose footy, and it's the Magpies through the two Spenceleys and Grieger that managed to work it forward. Grieger then tackled from Josh Mann. Oh, yeah. And it'll be a ball up.
Good play from Grieger there. Just held the ball in. Knew he wasn't going to get caught holding the ball. So Waikerie get the stoppage at half forward. Just join us. You're listening to 5RM Riverland, a football for McDonald's in Renmark. Preliminary final as Bevan gets a clearance inside 50. 1-on-1. It's going to be Hahn. And Salmon. Hahn takes the mark.
Great mark from Mitch Hahn, rocking the 27.
Gee whiz, I think he might be getting a bit of a lesson out there, young Salmon. I mean, he's a good player, but body on body, he had no chance.
You heard it here first. Look for this young man to play some senior league footy in Adelaide over the next couple of years. He has got the goods.
Held his position beautifully over the ball.
And here comes Mitch Hahn from 40 out. Oh, he's shinned the kick. It's going to go wide for a minor score only. So that draws Waikerie level, 1-3-9 apiece.
You mentioned the league football, Travis. Is it going to be the team that's black with a red sash, or maybe some other colours floating around?
No, he's told me himself he's staying at West Adelaide. Wants
Right.
to see it out and have a go.
No, good on him. Ball now back with Will Gucci on half back for the Tigers.
Harder coming from the ground early in this quarter, fellas. That's not programmed, I don't think.
Kick down the line from the Tigers, but a great mark from Stephen Braun that really was uncontested. And he handballs quickly to Tristan Gam, who looks down the line and finds Ben Smith. Smith to Matt Spenceley, loose running into the 50. Looks for goals, but finds Mitch Hahn in the forward square.
And Nobby, that's what we saw 3 weeks ago here. Waikerie just controlling the corridor, too much space.
Yeah, very much so, Trav, and clearing the area out and letting Mitch go to work on his own, and because he's going to outbody anyone one-on-one his size.
Arnie comes in, he bangs through the second for the Magpies, 3:15, Loxton 1:39. You're listening to 5RM Riverland football for McDonald's in Renmark.
Now, boys, Harder coming from the ground before the 5-minute mark of this quarter, you'd say that's not planned. Potentially an injury problem?
I think he's been injured for probably the last 6 or 7 weeks, hasn't he?
Gee, they can't afford to be without him, even if he just sits up forward and tries to create a goal-scoring avenue for him.
Can't say anything about Luke on the radio, Nobby.
Why is that?
Upset a few people.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. We like to talk about people we like.
No, I think you'll find he's probably...
Just
knowing the big fellow, he's had a few groin issues over the last couple of years, so... And that's the thing about next week too, isn't it, Lockie? You've got to try and... You need to win today, but you also got to think of potentially playing in a grand final.
Very true. Ball back in the centre. 4.5 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. 5-run football. Good tap from Colbert. Finds its way to Matt Spenceley. A handball over to Tim Bevan, who's having an absolute ripper so far. Lovely mark on the 50 arc from Jake Spenceley. He kicks into the centre. Dustin Gordon, if you don't mind. He could have run into the open goal, but decides to go back and have a shot instead.
He knows the game's being live streamed, fellas. More time.
I'll tell you, Tim Bevan is killing him.
Yep. I was just about to say, Travis, you know how Loxton's coach is affectionately known as Winks?
Yeah.
This bloke could be Black Caviar.
Umpire has seen something off the play,
Yep.
and the card's coming out.
Yeah, it's Moon responding to the tag.
Gee
He doesn't like the close attention he's been given in the first quarter and a bit. I've been looking at it pretty carefully. They got stuck into him. He gave the right-hand jab into the throat. Umpire sends him off.
That might be something during the week about that, perhaps, fellas.
And guys, let's give Dylan Miller a big pat on the back for his coaching move with that, because it's worked. He doesn't like it. So at the moment, good coaching move, good win for Loxton.
And they also lose the kick on goal. So what was looking like a shoe-in for another goal has seen the Tigers now with the footy in the half-back. They kick it down. Finds Talon Eagle, but couldn't quite mark it. Spills over the line, and we'll get a ball in, I reckon.
Dusty Gordon will be wishing he played on.
What does Coach Stevens say to him now, Nobby?
Oh,
He's better than that.
you got to put him in the corner for 5 minutes, don't you? Well, he's in for 10.
Yeah. But he just needs to go and work his way for the tag. At the moment, Loxton with the board half back. Waikerie defend hard to try and lock it in their forward half. They want the free kick, they're not going to get it. So Waikerie by the 1 goal.
I think with taggers like that, Travis, you've got to ask teammates to step in and help as well.
Yeah, and the one guy that was doing the blocking work is now sitting on the pine for Loxton, and that was a big hard to say.
Look, I think if Loxton can stay with them for long enough, there's some options they can throw at them later in the game. One of them being Luke Salmon up onto the ball or onto the wing to get some leg speed, because Waikerie might struggle against some of these younger Loxton players out and about.
They changed the match up on young Campbell. He's come, Vic Makarif to have a go at the young fella.
So Hoisler with the footy. He gets it to Jake Spenceley. He was wrapped up straight away, and we'll have another ball up.
That's an interesting matchup, Makarif on Campbell, because Makarif himself is a forward normally.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig Fisher in the ruck.
That's too high.
Interesting with the ruck from Waikerie. It's Craig Fisher's doing all of it for Loxton, but Waikerie got quite a few options here. You've got Colbert, Sinnott, and a few others having a crack
Craig
as well.
Miller.
Yep, they're. I think Craig Fisher from the Tigers has got a big afternoon, just quietly.
Oh, I knew he's a big lump of a lad. He takes a bit of work.
7.5 minutes gone. Second quarter Riverland football on 5RM. Now Burgermeister in the ruck for the Magpies.
Yeah,
With the ball, Waikerie get the clearance over towards that man Hahn again. Bevan for Waikerie comes in, picks the ball up, handballs out of trouble over to Hoisler. Hoisler will kick inside 50. Gordon takes the mark.
And that is an MTSA Mark of the Day contender. Wheels around quickly, looks to the pocket. Who's he seen? Jack Grieger, unable to mark it, spills over the boundary line right in front of the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard.
But getting his disposals in dangerous spots.
Yes, he is, and he's by far their most influential player at the moment.
And Big Gordon just starting to exert himself up forward, so it's a throw-in right beneath the Waikerie scoreboard. Johnny Fisher tries to win it for Loxton. A couple of handballs and they get it to Kasolki. Over to Langy. Langy will just kick for distance. Up towards Big Eagles. They gets a kick. Couldn't take it. Waikerie trying to come in, but it's going to be a ball up, centre half. Oh, between half forward and wing for the Waikerie Magpies.
It's a win for the Tigers. Eagle holding on against 2 there and keeping the ball for a ball up.
And just keep an eye on this, Nobby, but I reckon Loxton are 2 down on the bench. I reckon Hart is done. I reckon Evans is done.
Well, Evans for sure. We saw him go off holding a leg injury, and I doubt we'll see him again. Harder, I was sort of thinking a bloke like him, you might find him back out in the forward pocket one day, at 1 quarter.
Good tap out of the contest from Colbert doing the ruck work for the Magpies, and the Magpies look to the advantage. Look at their top centre half forward. Ball spills to no one. It's Drew Kosolki from the Tigers, and Loxton clears it out through his mate Will Gooch, who gets it over to his other old mate in Jesse Will, who just holds the footy on the back flank. Now looks down the line, looks for Raph Little, the old campaigner from way back. Good mark. He's going to get into the footy big time this afternoon if Harder's on the bench. Raph Little now with the footy on centre wing.
Lachlan Evans holding an arm, boys, in the middle.
He looks up, has to kick down the line. Eagle presents, he takes the mark. Hey, umpire says no, I'm going to throw it in. So at the moment, if you're a couple of players down on the pine early in the final, it's going to be hard work from here. They'll keep battling away, the Tigers, as Fisher does the ruck work, wins another one, but Jake Spenceley wins the clearance. Kicks it up towards Salmon and Burgermeister. Out comes Bob Lack for Loxton. Good handball over to Fisher. Goes back and board to Salmon. Looking to handball. Handball happy here. Over to Evans. Evans with a long sleeve Guernsey. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Oh, Little gets the free kick. It's shoved. No, play on's a call. Waikerie will win it back. Well done by Will for Loxton. Holding the football in there. Colbert for Waikerie comes around. He's going to try and get the clearance over to Nitschke. Nitschke gets a little kick, but play on over towards Reinstein for Loxton. He couldn't get it. Smith for Waikerie now. Gets tackled. It's just it's a bit of a kick and hope at the moment. Lockie Nitschke, trusty, he'll get the clearance. And Waikerie now over towards Big Grieger for the exit kick. Lockie Whittle.
Yeah, he manages to get a kick sideways. He was under a lot of pressure from Brody Hill. Drew Kosolki's in the mix, and I do see Jack Evans looking like he's going to come back onto the field for the Tigers, so it looks like he's going to have a go, Travis.
Yeah, you write a bloke off. It's a curse of the commentary.
Yeah. No extra strapping or garments on.
Always good when a bloke limps up the interchange gate, though.
Yeah, Brody Hill with a kick into the attacking 50 for the Tigers. It's just in front of the Waikerie club ribs, and we'll get a ball up. A bit back 7 scoreboard, Waikerie 2-3-15, Loxton 1-3-9.
He's got the quad heavily strapped. This big Luke Harder comes back out too.
Well, he has strapped, in flesh-coloured tape.
He got the big corky in the first contest. He's going to have to try and run it out. It's the Tigers now. Picked up from Eagle. He'll snap on the left foot. Kicks to the hot spot. It's going to be touch play on's a call. Ball goes out of bounds.
I don't know, every physio I've ever spoken to said the only thing that gets rid of a corky is time. Not so much a mountain of tape around the calf, around the quad, just quietly. So we'll watch with interest how this goes.
Might just be a confidence thing, Lockie. Just build his confidence a little bit.
It's a bit of a Rundle Mull going on at the interchange gate. We've got players everywhere wanting to get onto the field. As it goes into the Loxton attacking 50, it goes through for a bite of score.
He looks ginger to me. They both do.
Yeah, both these blokes don't look in too much of a hurry to get back into the fray.
Looks like the nursing home on a Sunday, Nobby Norton.
Yeah.
All right, it's Matt Spenceley that clears it out from a wild kick out of the defensive 50, and we're going to get a ball in. Some great defensive work from the
I thought
Tigers,
Bates put himself in a perfect spot there, but the umpire didn't reward it.
Just watch the interchange here. Watch him run on. Well, he looks in good. He looks in good nick.
Yeah.
Just going for a can of Nobby.
Yeah. See Venning waiting for Harder to come back on. He's obviously with Harder. He came off at the same time.
Waikerie go forward, picked up there from B. Comes back again. Now it's Daish. Daish for Waikerie. Just kicks up long towards Burgermeister. Takes the... provides the contest. Takes the ball out of bounds.
Here he comes. Harder on. Venning straight back out. He can't get out to get on him.
Well, they both look like they're cooked.
I think Harder's all right.
No, I don't think so.
Jack Evans, though, I mean, that's not looking good. Why he's even on, I'm not even sure. But anyway, we'll see. Watch with interest. The ball then, it's Will Gucci who's having to fight a big battle this afternoon in the midfield. And Matt Spenceley's in the foot, gets a foot to it out of the contest. Ball loose footy once again. No, it's back in. Craig Fisher now with the footy. And it'll be another ball up. Just on
still an arm
half-back
wrestle
for the Loxton
Still
Tigers.
a fair dinkum arm wrestle at the moment. You get the feeling that Waikerie just...
Loxton want to try and make it a low-scoring game now, don't they?
Yeah. Loxton, you're right, but I get the feeling that Waikerie just ready to burst free.
Yep. Gordon getting the clearance out of there, but was wrapped up through Reichstein, and we'll get another ball up. Burgermeister, good tap out of the ruck for the Magpies, but it's Loxton that managed to get the advantage. John Fisher, a big kick up in the air. Luke Hart, a big mark. Ben Venning tried to smother that one, but it didn't quite work.
It's going to be Harder. Plays on. Hits Bradley. Lockie Bradley looks up, goes back to Harder. Maybe I was wrong. As Big Whopper gets a couple of touches. Kicks over towards Fisher. That's Johnny Fisher. Centre half forward. Next kick is the money ball. Needs to find a target. Looks out wider again. Just tries to make Waikerie spread. Good work for the Tigers. It's going to be Salmon.
Yeah, much better than giving it back to him easy, isn't it?
Salmon will play on now. He looks for a spot up forward. It's a free man. It's Jesse Will. Oh, Waikerie defend Will. Gucci comes down now as the Magpies punch it out. Gucci, good play. Picks it up. Sharks a footy. Goes back in board. Couldn't hit the target. And now it's a free kick to Jake Spenceley for a push in the back.
A little bit too soft there, giving it back to Waikerie.
Quick handball off to Jared B, who looks to switch the ball over the top and finds the 26 of Ben Smith. He kicks down the line and he's back on the field. That's Anthony Daish. Daish on the wing. Kick over the top, looks for Grieger. Good mark from Grieger. He's got the footy. He'll just hold station for a second on the forward flank. Then kicks into the attacking 50, looks for a target. Gordon wasn't able to mark it. Good interception there from Loxton. And it goes towards the Bitmax everything scoreboard. Kale Smith gets the kick out. And it's found its way there to Ross Romeo. And then back into that man there in John Fisher. Handball to Luke Harder. Down the line, and it's fine. Schmicker Hill, that's Brody. He kicks inboard. And there he is again. John Fisher back to Harder again. Those two doing a bit of a double act this afternoon. Now it's on the attacking forward flank for Loxton, but they've run out of targets, and this is where Waikerie will then go on the attack again through Tristan Guillaume, and we see this time in and time out again, don't we, Travis? The Magpies love to go on the attack from half-back flank.
Smith plays on, looks inside, kicks it over. Harney, do a bit of space. Oh, that's check side. Got caught by Reinstein. That'll be holding the ball.
Both sides with an extra man behind the ball and unable to break through it.
So right there, kick comes out. Jesse Will takes the mark. Just starting to put some ascendancy on the game as Will.
2-3-15 Waikerie leading Loxton 1-4-10 on the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard. Nearly 16 minutes going on the Nippies clock, second quarter.
Kicks long down the line. Players will fly. Good mark by Big Ben Venning. Wins to get the set back for Loxton over towards Heusler. Heusler will be coaching in an under-18s grand final next week. Maybe playing in 1-2. Over to Matt Spenceley. Matty Spenceley kicks inside. Has the lead from Hahn. Good mark, Mitch Hahn takes another one.
Well, that is an MTSA mark of the day contender. He's already got a couple in the book.
Look, he made it look easy, and he made it look easy by keeping the ball out in front of his eyes where his defender couldn't even get a look at it.
The man they call Nugget. Why do you reckon they'd call him that, boys?
Oh,
he's
something to do with his stature, you think?
So
here we go, Evans limping off. That might be the last we see of him.
So Mitch Hahn, the big king, it's going to fade late. It's going to be nothing. Out of bounds on the fall.
So Jack Evans coming from the ground there.
He's cooked.
He's done.
He's cooked.
No,
Probably the last time we see him play is Moon's 10 minutes is up.
Yeah,
Let's hope not.
Ben Smith comes off. I thought Ben Smith did pretty well in that little 10-minute play just quietly. As Loxton now through Lachlan Evans. He picked up the footy, but he was tackled pretty much straight away from Jared B. And we'll get a ball up.
I was hoping he would break free from the ball because he would have run straight into Moon coming the other way at the same speed.
So a ball up, not far from the half forward from Waikerie. And there he is again, Moon. He's already into the contest, Nobby.
I'll tell you, the 10 minutes off might be the best thing for him after
Calm
that
him
heavy
down a
tag.
little bit, yeah. Break free of his tag, although he's got him back. Bradley straight back to his side.
You did right. His teammates have to help him out.
Yep.
So it's going to be a throw-in. It's 10 points to 15 points. Waikerie lead here. Picked up from Bevan. Tackled by Harder, holding the ball. Luke Harder looking like he's okay. On the left foot, hits the target. Over to Hill. Hill for Loxton, just goes a little bit forward shorter. It's going to find that man Langy.
Go to Salmon out wide on the wing.
Good call, Nobby Norton, as he hits him. He'll play on Salmon. He runs. He gets tackled. That's holding the ball.
Leg.
No, the trip.
He's lucky because he was due a bounce too.
Is that the professional free kick?
Yeah, I reckon he was about to run too far anyway.
Salmon looks up, Lockies, he kicks in towards the little, couldn't take it. Now Moon, back on the ground, gets the touch, and now he's off, and Waikerie over to Grieger.
Yeah, I tell you what, Burgermeister had some chasing speed just before, didn't he? Magpies now kicked their attacking 50. Looks like we're going to go. That's Smythe that let that one go. And it's Mitch Harney tried to keep the footy in, but
yeah, guys, we've seen the ball go to Little quite often on their forward moves, but no one under his feet. No one.
And that's the thing about bringing someone in as a player to give them.
Yeah, true. But I know what I'd be doing if I was under 5'8" and had a bit of speed. I'd be following him around.
Here it is, Jake Spenceley out of the contest, looks to centre the footy and hits up a target. And he
Burgermeister.
Found Burgermeister, who just goes, I got this one, guys. Oh, no, quick handball to Jake Spenceley.
He's got to go over the mark.
Yeah. And that is a goal.
Sorry.
That was time off.
I'm sorry.
What's going on there?
The umpire's setting the mark there, and he's given the handball. The player, he has to actually go back around his mark before he can handball.
And when you're setting the mark, it's time off.
It's time off.
That is an absolute... I'm not sure we don't lay the blame at anyone other than the fact that unless the rules have changed, that wasn't right.
But he's still setting the mark.
Yeah.
He has to go behind his mark.
Yep.
So the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard attendance chased the scoreboard. It's the Magpies 21 leading the Loxton Tigers 10.
Mitch Hahn got the goal?
No, Jake Spenceley.
Jake
Spenceley. A handball over from great mark from Burgermeister up forward. We were looking for him last week for some contests. It is 5-round football for McDonald's round mark. Nearly 20 minutes gone in this second quarter, nearly into time on. Craig Fisher in the middle, gets it to Harder. Harder breaks through a couple of players and manages to find Jonty Bates on the half-forward flank. Bates, kick into the mark. And now goes to pick it up again and now tries to play on, turns around, loses the footy. A volleyball tap over the top, but you can't do that. Yep, it's not a volleyball tournament at Loxton High School this afternoon, unfortunately.
Good on one Makarov, wins the ball, gets the kick. Burgermeister at centre half forward. Picks it up, kicks it towards the hot spot. Hahn again, couldn't take the mark. Out they come. It's going to be at ground level. Jake Spenceley go to Hahn, goes back. There's a flying shot on goal from Heusler. It's fading late. Minor score. No, it's gone
he's
through.
got one.
It was a Stephen Kernahan floating punt, but
It
it's
sure
hit the
was.
centre.
It wouldn't have gone over 10 feet from the 50-metre line to the goal line.
The self-described back pocket has slotted himself a goal.
The captain.
Look, fellas, all of a sudden the rub of the green going with Waikerie with a couple of, decisions that probably could have gone the other way, and they cash in quick.
So it's into time on the Nippies clock. Second quarter Riverland football on 5RM from McDonald's Renmark. And here he is, Steve Heusler, true to form, back to the back pocket after slotting that lovely goal.
So back in the middle of the ground. So Craig Miller for Waikerie going to have a bit of a run on the footy.
And 27 playing 10 on the Bitmax surfacing scoreboard. The Magpies have the lead.
Up they go. There's no real clearance out there from either player. Waikerie again trying to get the clearance, and they get the running brigade out wide. There's Grieger. He just keeps running, wins the ball, kicks inside of the hot spot. Hahn will fly again, couldn't take it. Langy for Loxton wins it over to Salmon. Salmon handles over towards Cale Smith. Not out of trouble yet. The Magpies keep going. Jake Spenceley does the old duck like he does. Over to Gordon. Oh, Gordon's kicked it the other side. He's seen Grieger. He'll have a flying shot, and Grieger will kick the goal.
Now, Trav, do you think that was a Dusty Gordon special or a little bit of an accident?
I think it was I think he kicked the belly of the footy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The rub of the green all of a sudden going in Wakerie's favour. And hang on. No goal there.
Oh, no goal.
That's a free kick outside that play.
Okay.
So the Tigers take the kick out, looking for a target on half-back, but no one was there except for Jared B from Waikerie. And now through Tim Bevan, kicks into the attacking 50, and there he Burgermeister unable to mark it. So it's a hot footy still. Both teams hungry for it, but it's found its way to Brody Hill from Loxton. Just says, settle down, boys.
The interesting thing, boys, is it's gone up on the scoreboard, but it never went back to the centre for a bounce.
They tricked us all. Loxton try and hold it up. Time on. Can't be much left in the quarter. It's 4-3 to 1-4. Magpies looking to book a place in next week's grand final and have another tilt at the conquering Renmark Rovers. Over to Eagle. Eagle kicks up towards Liddell. Little at centre half forward. Good work from the defence from Smythe, and he smacks it out of bounds and gets the applause from his home crowd over there.
He's having to cover some ground, Raf, to get anywhere near it, like boundary line to boundary line. That's not going to help when you're wanting to score.
Again, they throw it in. Can Loxton get a late one? Time on. Siren might beat them. Yes, it does.
the Waikerie Magpies that hold the lead at half-time. 4-3-23 to the Loxton Tigers, 1-4-10. Second half to come here at 5RM Football. Second half shortly to get underway here at Waikerie this afternoon. Preliminary final action in the Riverland Football League. The Waikerie Magpies have a solid lead. It's 4-4-28. Waikerie to the Loxton Tigers at 1-4-10. Lockie Nobby Norton and Travis Dubridge this afternoon live from Waikerie. Dubs, Nobby, look, it was a very tight first stanza of the game, but then slowly but surely Waikerie managed to bring back that old form that we're all so used to.
Yeah, and probably lucky, Nobby, that they had a couple of frees reversed. Waikerie were going to get an extra couple of goals. Margin could be more. Saying that, at 4-1, a 3-goal margin, you're still a chance.
Yep.
But the 1 goal and a half's the issue.
Hey, look, boys, the interesting thing, I've just had a quick count up of Loxton Guernseys around that huddle. There's only 20 out on the field at the moment.
Yeah.
For the warm-up prior to the start of the game, and Waikerie, of course, full throttle, everyone out there ready to rip into it.
Can't play injured players in finals. I know, there's an argument, it's happened during the game, but it didn't look right for mine, the selection, a la Dustin Martin.
Yep.
So Jack Evans is the player from Loxton we're talking about. Look, he started the game not too bad, but we saw him come to the bench. He tried to have another crack out there, but really didn't work. Look, a couple of handy goals so far from Waikerie. Look, we saw it really sharing it around. Tim Bevan, for me, is he's the impact player for the Magpies this afternoon.
So he's the black caviar of the setup, Lockie.
He missed the first half of the season. I reckon his first game was about, round 7 or 8, something like that. He's coming back from a knee injury, and you really wouldn't know this afternoon.
Off a knee reconstruction.
Certainly a very, very handy player.
Yep.
Look, sides now taken to the field. Of course, the winner of this will take on Renmark next week. And just on that, I'm seeing a few Renmark personnel here this afternoon, having a bit of a look around to see who they might be lining up on again next week. Getting a little bit of intel, Travis.
Yes, saw nothing in the first half that's really going to be worrying them all in the full.
Man and Romeo coming to the bench for Loxton, and for the Tigers it looks like Daesh, the resting ruckman, and Cooper Macrath.
So ball in the centre, about to get underway. Third quarter, Riverland football on 5RM for McDonald's Renmark. Umpire Tony Florence with the football. Just looking around, signals to get things underway. And it is Colbert and Fisher that do the ruck work. Oh, great tap from Colbert for the Magpies. But umpire's seen something, and it's Loxton that are going to get the free out of the centre.
Handful of Guernsey will do that every time.
Good kick from Gucci. Finds Luke Harder on half forward.
Trev. Tell us about that.
Yeah, guarded the space, took the mark harder, kicks inside, finds Little, and that is the play Loxton needed. So, yeah, for the listeners, Harder came the half forward, held the ground, hands extended, took the easy mark and played on quickly. Quick ball movement's what they need.
And there it is, Raph Little. He's back into the side today. Got some intel. It's his third A-grade game for the year today. 2 others prior. The other 2 were sort of spaced out throughout the year. They brought him in as a forward, a key target, kicking on a slightly greater than 45-degree angle, 35 metres out. What's it got? He's gone too far to the far side, and that's a minor score.
He's got to turn that right hand over a little bit more on the club. That one's sliced to the right.
I reckon he was thinking about the next open inspection then, as Spenceley kicks in, finds his teammate out wide. Now they can run it overlap through Guillaume.
Oh,
looks in the centre of the ground, finds that man Bevan again, just racking up the touches. Uses the ball well over to Spenceley. Gets a whack from Harder. That'll be 25-metre penalty. No. Goes back over the mark, and they can hold the ball up, the Magpies. Over to young Smithy, young Benny Smith. Look at this. Mr. Waikerie, Stephen Braun. Goes through centre wing. Hits Jared B leading out at centre half forward. Kasolki on the mark as he looks inboard. Decides to go to the contest. Players will fly. It's got to be Hahn. But Loxton through. Is that... It's not Evans back on the ground, is it?
Well, no, I don't think it is. No.
That's
just having a look.
I think it's Will Gucci with the kick.
Yep, so it's a young Nitschke who's come into the side from the under-18s last week. Kicks sideways, finds a teammate, and that's Jared B. Taking the footy wide, still on the centre wing. Kicks down the line. Now we're sort of towards the flank area, but it's wide. Clubroom side. Matt Spenceley brings it back inboard, finds Jake Spenceley. Handballs quickly back to Jared B. Jared B now kicks into the attacking 50. Gordon flew, but over the back. It was Burgermeister.
Touch play on.
He couldn't get the mark. Then a kick up in the air from Dustin Gordon. That's a pitching wedge. It's a young Reichstein for the Tigers. He tries to pick it up. It's a hot footy. Craig Fisher gets it off the deck. He's throwing his arms in there, trying to punch it out of there. and umpire says my footy.
Question for you guys. I know, I'm a bit of a Dustin Gordon fan, but he was about 5 metres in front of the ball trying to take an unrealistic attempt at mark there.
Well, it's Fisher and Lange out of the contest, clears it out. Talon Eagle was the man who tried to scrape it up, but he couldn't. Now it's Heusler for the Magpies, who kicks back into the attacking 50. Good little intercept there from Lange. Finds its way to Johnny Fisher, and then it's over to Luke Salmon, who's playing not a bad game this afternoon. Jonty Bates is the one who's trying to run onto the footy, dodges sideways and tries to sell a bit of candy. Back turns and looks for Drew Kasolki. No. Kasolki's hot and gets it back to Jonty Bates. He kicks to no one over the top. This will probably spill out of bounds, and that'll be a free kick to the Magpies.
No. Free down the ground. Bates getting it tended to after he got rid of the ball.
Very lucky.
Plays on quickly, goes towards Johnny Fisher. He can get the 50 and take a shot. Puts it on the wide outside. Little again will fly. Guards the space, couldn't take it. Waikerie get back in numbers, holding the ball on the ground. Umpire circling. Loxton win it. It's going to be Hill. Quick snap on goal. Over to Little. He tries to stab. They got the free meant to be a goal for the Tigers, will it? I think it's Jesse Will. He's missed it.
Gee, they needed that one, being the understatement of the year. 1 goal, 6 now to Waikerie 4-4 on the scoreboard.
They play on quickly. The Spenceley boys combine. All of a sudden, it's outside of defensive 50. Bates will try and hold the footy in there. Lockie Bradley comes in with Moon. They're going to shower to give it tonight. They've been that close during the game.
Yes.
It's we're going to get a ball up just around from the Bitmac surfacing scoreboard here at Waikerie this afternoon. What are we going to do here? Sorry, ball in. You don't see as many of these anymore in Riverland football, thanks to the rule introduction a couple of years ago of the last possession contest, and Waikerie get the advantage. And there he is again, Tim Bevan, kick number 5,000 this afternoon. Kicks down the line, finds Nobby's mate Dustin Gordon. Over to Burgermeister. Burgermeister into the attacking 50. Craig Miller was the target, but he fell over, but he picks it back up, gets a handball, and he's 250th. Now it's Mitch Hahn. He got the footy, but he was taken to ground. Kick off the ground from Mitch Hahn. He moves to the pocket, goes nowhere, and it's picked up by Lange of the Tigers. Some calm and collective play clears it out of there to the other pocket in Drew Kasolki.
Gee whiz, no one to be holding their breath more than Smithy after putting down what should have been a soda.
They play on out wide, looking for Gucci. Takes the mark. Good play. Loxton just need the first goal here. Trail by 16 points.
I don't think this will be worrying Waikerie. Gucci playing so deep in defence.
Goes back to Shay Lange. He's been high in Loxton's best players in the first half. Son of the president. And Shay Lange just kicks long down the line, looking for Campbell.
Oh, lovely kick.
Presents and takes the mark. The young player on the left foot. He doesn't waste him usually. Hits Will. Good play now. Ball movement looking better for Loxton as he goes out wide. Finds man out there. Plays on quickly. Kicks inside. Harder will come out. Good mark down low. He'll look to play on quickly, will he? He goes back over the mark. Gets called to play on now. Goes one way then the other. On the left foot. Just kicks it high. Players will fire. Fisher! Johnny Fisher takes the mark.
Gee whiz, he's had an impact today, hasn't he? All over the ground.
Great bit of work from Luke Harder. Look, he thought he could have another crack at the half play on, but umpire Todd Charlton said, no, mate, you moved. Get going. And,
just a good kick, though.
Yeah.
Puts it over the top of the contest. Lets Fisher guard it. Takes the mark. And Johnny Fisher, he's already got the 1 goal today. I think I've got in the book.
Yep.
Yes, I have. He's kicked their only goal scorer for today. His team trailed by 16 points. We are playing in a knockout preliminary final. Johnny Fisher to get the Tigers up and going again has kicked his 2nd goal, and he's kicked the team's 2nd goal.
The Tigers are back in town on the Bitmac surfacing scoreboard. Their 2nd goal of the day. 4-4 plays at 2 goals 6.
Yeah, guys, looking at that play and how Loxton were moving the ball much quickly, creating opportunity. Trav, do you think it's maybe time to release Luke Salmon from the back line?
I think
get him up around the middle?
I think he's a bona fide midfielder.
Yep. Now's the time, isn't it?
And we saw the value of Luke Harder then. That kick, Nobby, when he's pretty good at going back and had a shot, but sent it across. Beautiful work. Gee
whiz, he's doing a heck of a job on Jack Burgermeister anyway. He's giving away pounds and inches, but I'm thinking I want to see him. You've got to win this game. You can't defend it. You've got to win it. And for me, I'm thinking I'm rolling them forward and trying to get in front in the premiership quarter.
And something else to think of in that case. Do you drop the tag on Moon and maybe switch him over to stand Bevan?
No, I think you stay with it, because I think at the back of Moon's mind is he going to be eligible for next week?
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So a ball up in the centre. It's Colbert who gets the advantage, but it's the Tigers that manage to clear it out through Gucci. They get their second inside 50. Yeah, there he is, Luke Harder through the pack. Turns on, plays quickly. Raf Little on the lead out in front, if you don't mind.
That's good football.
Gee, you wouldn't mind leading up to that bloke, though, would you, Trev?
I reckon I could get it out in front on the lead there, Nobby.
I think no doubt about it. Great kick.
So Raf Little, who's back into this A grade science, going, oh, this A grade's probably a bit easier than when I played a few years ago.
Yeah, that's Harder's best spot, though, high half forward like that, where he can use
exactly
the ball.
Right. Yep. And that's where he played his league football. His good use of the ball. So, Raf Little, he's missed a couple of opportunities. His team trailing by 10 points. He stabbed another. Hit the post.
Would you say he's got the yips, boys? I mean, the more you miss, the harder it gets.
He just needs to, I know what you're saying, Nobby, he just needs to slot one, and you wonder what might happen from Raf Little this afternoon. But anyway, still in the attacking 50 at the moment.
The positive is he's getting opportunities.
It's 4-4-28 leading the Loxton Tigers, 19. They're getting back into this game just. Magpies now go down the wing. Finds Jake Spenceley over to Matt Spenceley. Heard that combination a few times this afternoon.
Here he is.
In the middle of the field. Burgermeister. But it's
Salmon.
Luke Salmon.
Won't panic.
He's to tackle, but managed to get out to Brody Hill. He got a handball over to Cale Smith, who brings it sideways and looks for Campbell. Campbell will chase this one to the boundary line. That should be a kick to the Magpies.
Lockie, we saw a game like this earlier in the year involving Loxton and Berry. Low scoring.
Yep.
Loxton came from behind to win it.
It was a bit of a thriller that day. That was, 4-8 to 4-4 that day. Berry were very unlucky to lose that one. They led for 90% of it. And the Magpies are going to get another kick here on half forward.
I realise he had prior opportunity, but it doesn't mean you can push him in the back and get the free kick for holding the ball.
So Matt Spenceley, just outside attacking 50. He'll look to set it up. Chips a beautiful worm-burning pass in. Finds that man, Benny Smith.
Never plays a bad game, Ben Smith, does he, when we're down here, Trev?
He's a good footballer. Gives it back to Big Grieger. He'll just wheel up, goes bang from 50. It's going to land in there. Burgermeister will fly, but it's a player in front. It's Big
Gordon.
Dusty.
Nobby's main man, Dustin Gordon, he's responded.
Would you say opportunist forward?
He's timing those marks beautiful today, Big Dusty. And he has a chance now from the top of the goal square to extend the lead back to 15 points.
Deshaun Smith off, boys.
And Dusty says, come on, boys. Let's get this one through, get back and get some more. Loxton 2-7-19, trailing Waikerie now 5-4-34.
A bit max serving score, but it's 5-run football from McDonald's Renmark. 10.5 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. Third quarter, the loser of this game, it's curtains for season 2022. And just on that, Waikerie have got their under-18s into the grand final. Loxton have already got their reserves into the grand final. So there's a little bit on that, Travis, depending on which way you look. There's a couple players on this side regardless. Even in the losing team, they're going to be playing next week.
That's exactly right. And the MTESA mark of the day, Nobby. A chance, that one?
Well, yes. Yeah, definitely. He cut across in front of the pack. Probably not as spectacular, but very clever.
Back in the middle, they'll go again. Miller into the ruck, trying to get some aggressive behaviour in the centre of the ground. Well done by Grieger, just punches it forward. Goes up towards the Loxton player. Kasulki wins it back. Daish for Loxton for Waikerie comes in. Hill tackles. Umpire going to throw it up.
Guys, Gucci giving the Tigers a fair bit of drive here. We'll have to keep doing so if they're going to win.
Well, it's Craig Fisher that gets the advantage and gets the tap over to Brody Hill. He brings it into the centre, looks for Josh Mann. The half volley, unable to pick it up. And the Magpies, through Matt Spenceley, capitalise. And there he is, Tristan Geam. He's going to run onto the footy and rake it up. Brings it back inboard, finds Jake Spenceley.
Oh, nice
Good
kick.
mark on half forward. Handballs over quickly to Jared B, who's playing a good game this afternoon. Looks for Dustin Gordon, and he's got another one.
He's just about to break this game open, boys. He's going to break it open.
He'll go back for a shot. He's going to be kicking from 20 out. He's on a pretty tight angle.
Well, I reckon he's just going to wheel around and snap this one over his shoulder.
It's around the corner, this one.
Dustin Gordon, he's lining up for the snapshot a la AFL style. And Big Dusty gets the kill through the middle for a big one. Waikerie kicked their sixth. And all of a sudden, Nobby's man, Dustin Gordon, he's the final specialist. He's got a couple.
And that could be the goal of the day for the Peruna Storm Brownswell Tavern. A couple of contenders from Dustin Gordon so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can give goal of the day to someone who increases the angle of difficulty.
He's that sort of player. He's always going to do that.
Yeah. a drop punt would have been too easy for him and not good enough for the crowd.
Well, come on, nobody in the AFL, they do that from 20 metres out straight in front these days.
Yeah, but a lot of those blokes aren't really footballers, are they?
I think Dustin Gordon's already picked up a couple of Peruna Store and Brownsville Tavern goal of the days this year, so maybe you might just get another one this afternoon.
Oh, I think he's got plenty of more goals in him in this game.
He looks like the bloke he's just built for finals.
Yeah.
So 13 minutes gone, third quarter on the Nippies clock. Craig Fisher's not in the ruck for the Tigers anymore. Talon Eagle's in there, so we'll have to see where he went. Luke Harder's tried to clear it out. Josh Mann, no one wanted to pick up the footy, but Stephen Braun for the Magpies did. And he kicks towards half forward. Jake Spenceley wasn't able to pick it up. Moon's in there. Good handball over to Daish. Daish now kicking into the attacking 50. A small kick on the ground. Dustin Gordon wheels around. No one able to get there. Cale Smith running onto the footy. You got the Magpies that are running hard too. Cale Smith, get it to the boundary, son. He did. That was his best option by far.
Boys, I know we're only 12 minutes into the third quarter, but I'm about to call this game.
21 points?
Yep. It's over 18, Trev, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's going to take a mammoth effort.
Waikerie starting to get some momentum.
Yep.
Moon's starting to get his hands on the ball. Loxton win it through Bradley. Goes back towards Gucci. Gucci for Loxton just kicks it over his right shoulder for distance. Players will fly. Good work there from Wrightstein for Loxton. Harder comes in. Get out of my way. Handles over towards Johnny Fisher. Johnny Fisher gets tackled by Sinnott. Sinnott gives it over to Heusler. Goes back door to Smythe. Over to Guillaume. Good talking there from the Magpies. You can hear it through the speakers. Goes long. Well done. Gucci again. Gets tackled holding the ball. Good play. Good defensive forward play there from Waikerie.
The Magpies system is starting to kick into action here, boys.
Spenceley plays on quickly. Finds that man Hahn. Mitch Hahn will just go from about 55. Kicks to the hot spot. Players will fly. Gordon in. He's pushed his player around. It's going to be a free kick to Loxton.
Yeah, no one able to mark it. It would have been a mark of the day contender, but you can't do that and get the prize. Cale Smith takes the kick, goes sideways.
Gordon telling the umpire he was pushed in the back and pushed into the Loxton player.
Finds Bobolak. Bobolak down the line looking for Jesse Will. He was unable to mark it. Ball goes out of bounds through a few hands.
If they make the grand final, I want to put it on you boys to get an interview during the week with Dustin Gordon.
All right, we'll see what we can do with our team of producers at Sports Saturday.
There'll be no point turning up here at training to get an interview with him. I reckon we'll have to try and find him somewhere else.
It might be a phoner, that one. He kicks down the line. And the umpire's seen something here. There's another free kick. Loxton have now got a bit of an advantage. They need the next goal if they're any hope this afternoon. Jonty Bates.
Need the next three, Loxton.
Brings it sideways, but it's been intercepted by Benny Smith, who's a very underrated player for the Magpies lineup.
Uses the ball so well.
Yep. He's off.
Matt Spenceley with the footy back to Benny Smith. Benny down the line, looking for a target in Sinnott.
Oh, almost.
Unable to grab it themselves. Cooper Macrath, rather, my bad. And now it's the Tigers to manage to get a couple of link-up handballs. There's Lockie Evans. Kicks. It's going to be punched by Stephen Braun. The Tigers will work hard, but Wrightstein was unable to pick it up.
See, boys, there was Loxton with a open play, no pressure, and they kicked to a 1-on-2.
Yeah, and if you look across the ground, he had Gucci all by himself, about 20 metres close to the centre. Had to hit that target up.
So a ball up. Great work from Kai Sinnott. He's in the game again this afternoon. Magpies ruck combo working well. Now the Magpies go on the attack. Jaish picks it up. Now looks for a target at centre forward. Dustin Gordon's there, unable to mark it. Ball spills over the back. It's loose. What can Shay Lange do? Gets a small soccer onto it. He ducks, but he manages to get a handball over to Cale Smith.
Well
Smith tackled. Dustin Gordon had the footy, but it was taken off him. He's hot on this. What's going to happen here? Umpire says my footy. Oh no, it's a free kick to Loxton.
Shay Lange comes out of the pack with it. Quickly squares it up to Ross Romeo, and away they go off half-back.
Yeah, so Romeo, we haven't called his name much today. Runs down through centre half-back, kicks long down the line. But Guillaume's going to defend that all day long.
Gee whiz, he was in front, he could have marked
He
that.
punched that out of bounds. You'd almost put a case for deliberate there, wouldn't you? What are they going to say here?
I think that's okay when you're from behind.
I think you're allowed to punch it out of bounds, aren't you?
Yeah, when you're coming from behind defending, I'm not sure when you're leading you can.
He was clear, though, to clunk it for a mark. Maybe no one was chatting to him. Anyway.
But anyway.
Picked
Ball
up
in.
from Harder, just kicks towards the hot spot. It's got Will by himself. He can get the 50 straight in front. Goes long. It's got Little in the goal square. Good defensive work there from Smythe, I think it is, for Waikerie. Gets it through for a minor score. He's a good defender, Sean Smythe.
He sure is.
Yeah, very solid down back. Similar in stature to Burgermeister at different ends of the field.
That's Sean Smith with a Y, isn't it?
It is. Gordon comes off. He looks up the commentary box. He gives the high five to Nobby Norton.
He's happy. He said, "Don't worry, fellas, I'll be back in the last quarter for a couple more."
Over to Waikerie for Waikerie. Through the centre of the ground on the left foot. It's Burgermeister. Good kick. Again, runs over the handball. That's like a training drill. It's like circle work. Kicks inside. Moon comes out. Gets tackled by Lockie Bradley. And he says, wherever you're going today, I'm with you.
Done a good job,
He
Lockie
has
Bradley,
done a good
hasn't
job. Is he too good to be a tagger?
he? Probably.
Could
but
you
if he
use him
wasn't-
to win the ball for you in the second half, Nobby?
Oh, I think you got to roll the dice in the last quarter for sure.
Matt Spenceley with the footy. He dodges around a couple, has a shot, but it's smothered. The Tigers' defence working overtime. Lockie Evans grabs it out of the contest, has a bounce, small kick, finds Jesse Will. Another seasoned campaigner that's battled hard. Finds it's his teammate in Johnny Fisher on half-back. Now looks to switch the footy. What's he seen? There's a couple of Tigers out there, but I reckon there's... don't know how, but Talon Eagle managed to pluck that one out of the contest. It's over the top to Gucci. Gucci looks for Harder up forward. In front, finds Romeo's there. That umpire's
Free
seen
kick.
something. Free kick.
Come
Campbell takes the kick at
Goal.
goal. I think he's nailed it.
Yeah.
Is the umpire going to let this one go?
Yeah, he could
He
go.
is.
Has to.
Campbell's got the goal for the Tigers.
Look, fellas, the only way back for the Tigers is through their young brigade.
Yeah.
Salmon,
Jesse Will getting hands
Jesse
of the footy in
Will,
that play
yep.
too. It's
Fibre and football for McDonald's Redmark. 19 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. Nobby, 5 minutes ago you were saying it's done. Now you're saying there's a chance.
well, Lockie, all I'm saying is if there is going to be a chance, the young fellas have got to step right up, which they are doing, and Evans and Harder have got to keep having the influence they
I
have.
think it's fair to say they've got to try and kick 10 goals, Loxton, if they want to win the match.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
Waikerie got at least a couple more in them.
Lockie Bradley still got that tag on Moon in the middle.
It's fascinating to watch that. You don't see a lot of that in Riverland football. High level tagging.
So what are you saying, Dupes? Throw Salmon in the middle for the fourth quarter?
Oh,
I'm bringing him
Yeah.
up to the wing at least.
yeah, you got to roll the dice at some stage, don't you? And risk losing the match to win.
Got
it.
him.
Well, you're not fighting for a double chance final
No.
today. No. 6-4-40, Magpies leads Loxton 3-8-26, nearly into overtime in the third
that
quarter.
last goal has certainly sparked the Tigers. They've gone up a gear, but they'll have to.
Another goal. We're at time on. One more goal I reckon they need. It's got to be Fisher with the tap. Waikerie will try and keep the ball in close here. They don't want to let it out as we see Colbert for Waikerie about to come back on.
Yep, the rotating ruck. When him and Sinot, they're doing a pretty good job in the ruck this year for the Magpies.
Chance next week to have a go at Zach Gardner yet again. Ross Romeo will get tackled holding the ball.
There it is. So the Magpies with the footy, they're going to go into their attacking 50 once the ball's with them.
Gee whiz, boys, I think he thought he was in a Canadian barn dance and the amount of moves he was making.
Over to Matt Spenceley. Looks inside. Jake Spenceley all by himself in the pocket. And Ringer Rosie, the Spenceley boys, just...
Yep.
It's uncanny how often they find each
Here
other
we
on a
go.
football
He's
oval.
going to do the Dustin Gordon round the corner.
Linking up.
move.
He wants a shot at the Peruna Storm Brownsville Tavern goal of the day as well.
Right in front of the Waikerie supporters too. They'll erupt if he kicks it. He's kicked it across the face. Players will fly. Ball will go out of bounds. No, it's picked off, kept in play. It's got to be Mitch Hunt. Get out of my way. This could be goal of the
Yeah,
day, is it?
Oh, minor score.
Tell you what, boys, it's point of the day.
That was a Peruna Storm Brownsville Tavern goal of the day. Should it have gone through, but it didn't.
Saw him kick a ripper last week on the check side punt.
That's why Mitch Hahn, he battled out at West Adelaide most of the year and came back to the Magpies. But we're hearing from Doobs that he's going to stick it out at Westies next year.
He hasn't done a...
Uncontested mark there by Hoisler.
Hoisler will just square it up. It's a dangerous
Boom.
kick. Well done by Bates. Wins the ball for Loxton. Gucci gets tackled high. Play onto the call as he takes the advantage. Kicks towards centre half forward. One-on-ones. Venning and Eagle. Eagle and Venning. In comes Jesse Will. Good play. Eagle lays the Shepherd. Over to Will. He's running. Venning, he's trying to chase him. It's like a grand final here. Oh, he's missed it.
Minor score for the Tigers.
Pushing
Oh,
the
the
back
umpire's seen something though.
Push in the back.
So he can elect to take the point or the free kick.
So Jesse Will's going to get a free.
And the siren will go.
Yeah, 22 minutes gone in this third quarter.
I love this. The player just takes 3 steps around while the umpire's not
Yep.
looking. Umpire sets the mark. So Loxton trailing by 15 points to get it back into single digits at 3/4 time.
Has Jesse Will got the journey?
I don't think
it's a tight angle.
I don't think he can kick this.
I'm going to bank him to kick it.
It's a tight angle.
Gee whiz, it'd be a captain's goal if he does.
In he comes. He kicked 4 in the first quarter and Loxton off in the first semi, but none more important than this one.
Oh yes, well
He has
called,
kicked
Travis
it.
Dubrick. Well called.
Jesse Will on 3/4 time gets his team back within 9 points. Lockie Winnell.
Yeah, the Tigers are coming back, and Nobby might have to eat his words pretty soon. He called it, then said they were a chance. Now they're a real chance. It's nearly 3/4
Boys,
time on the
to be
Nippies
honest with you, I
clock.
was only doing that in the hope that they would come back.
But Dustin Gordon's heard the commentary this afternoon and decided to go back onto the field for the Magpies. 23 and a half minutes gone, third quarter. Wouldn't be much time left in this one. There's only going to be one quarter that separates one side from a grand final spot next week and one side from tomorrow. We're having a barbecue at Jono's place.
So you're thinking Waikerie need to kick 2 to win it? Loxton 5.
I'd say something like that, yes. Back in the middle. Time on, late in the quarter. Moon wants to win the clearance. He gets a little push forward up towards Dash. Loxton won't be denied. They're going to hold it in. And if you're at the ground and you're barracking for either team, get behind your team in the last quarter. It's what country footy's all about.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we're stage is set for a good last quarter if the score's going like this at the lemon break.
Good tap from Miller in the ruck, but it's the Tigers that managed to clear it out. Great bit of work from Romeo. He kicks up the line. Jonty Bates, can he run on, or will the Tigers run out of time in this fourth quarter? Luke Harder's in there. He knows their quarter's getting closer to finishing as well. And there'll be another ball up. Waikerie won't mind that.
Gucci and Bates, they're the two.
I was just about to say, Gucci's effort this quarter, he's lifted him, hasn't he?
Oh, Warhorse.
So a ball up just outside the centre square. Great bit of work there from the ruckman, but it didn't go too far. Moon was taken to ground.
And any time the ball gets near Bates, the contest's on, isn't it?
It's got this feel where, maybe Loxton can come out and kick 6 straight in the last quarter and just blow the game apart. Am I the only one feeling that?
Well, they've had one more scoring shot.
6-5-41 leads Loxton, 4-8-32.
Yeah, Trav, I know you're doing the 3-2-1 at the end of the
Yes.
game, but I'm thinking Johnny Fisher's got to be somewhere in the calculations. Is he in your calculations?
His name's close. It might be one of those games, where it might not have been your day, but it could be your moment. That sort of match.
Might be who has the influence on the result.
Yeah.
Not necessarily how many possessions you get.
The Magpies have put Craig Miller back in the ruck.
And they got Venning loose behind the play.
Yep. So they're trying to hang on till 3/4 time.
Which would be very soon.
Loxton, I think, would be happy with that. If they can go in just 9 points down.
It's a long quarter, 25 and a half minutes gone already. On the Nippies clock, Fisher and Miller do the battle. It's the Magpies through Jake Spenceley that get the kick out of the contest. And a good mark in the middle from Ben Smith, who plays on, looks for a handball. The raking 15-metre handball finds Nitschke, under 18's player. And there it is, 3/4 time. It's the Waikerie Magpies that lead by 9. We have got an absolute thrilling fourth quarter to come here from Waikerie. Only one team will keep their season alive. It certainly can at the moment. It's Loxton who trail by 9 points. They managed to get a couple of goals in that third quarter. At the moment, Waikerie 6-5-41, leading the Loxton Tigers 4-8-32. Players now back onto the field. It is 5 Run Football from McDonald's, Renmark, Doobs and Nobby. It's been a big third quarter and a big fourth quarter to come.
Who wins from you, guys?
I was going to ask you that question.
That's why I got in early.
Look, I've already put Waikerie up, so I've got to stick with them, fellas. But
I've got a feeling Loxton are going to run over them.
I'll tell you what, if Loxton would have kicked the first goal...
Oh, yeah. First goal's massive now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely
and
huge.
And look who they got in the middle. Harder's in the middle.
So it's Harder and
Evans
Colbert.
is going in too.
Yep.
Colbert's back in there for the Magpies in the ruck as well. It's going to be an interesting fourth quarter. Riverland football on Philo round.
And Will Gucci, so that's their A team in there at the moment.
All the supporters, all the faithful are now just leaving the field because there was a lot of supporters around both sides at that three-quarter time address.
I tell you what, for the Magpies though, we were looking at Timmy Bevan in the middle.
Umpire Todd Charlton just looking for a few more supporters to leave the field. Yep, and we'll get there underway in this fourth quarter. About to put the ball up in the air. Big fourth quarter to come. The winner to play next week's grand final at Barmera against the Rovers. The ruck contest doesn't go too far, and I think we might have another one because both teams are hungry for it, Doobs.
Boys, you've got to say Fish has been on top in ruck all day.
He's line-hearted effort in the ruck. Good effort. Wins another tap. Harder sharks it. Gets the U-turn clearance. Handle over towards Evans. He's going to have to run straight through. Good done by Stephen Braun. Runs straight through. Wins the ball for the Magpies and he kicks his side inside 50. Gordon comes out. Couldn't take the mark. Play on. Wheels around. Pulls the U-turn as Big Dusty. Kicks inside 50. Players will fly. It's going to be hard. Oh, big crash of the pack from Miller. Harn's out the back. Well done by Lockie. Bradley couldn't win it. Comes out. Harn's going to kick the first goal. No, he gets tackled. Good defensive work from Loxton. There's still a chance. Miller, no, playing desperate football here. We're playing for keeps, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Clearance out, and Brendan Moon's got the kick after the pitching wedge. Kick from the Tigers.
Lockie Bradley got sucked into the contest.
He did.
Moon hung back.
So Moon, after spending 10 minutes on the pine earlier today after a yellow card...
I'm thinking we might hear about that during the week too, Lockie.
I must admit, I reckon he's been a different player after that, and he's been better, just quietly.
Ooh, I reckon Bradley's had him in a headlock most of the day.
So, Brendan Moon comes in. He's going to kick from 35, kicks through it. It's fading, it's coming back.
Minor score.
Oh, so that makes the scoring shots equal between these two sides, boys.
Yep, 6 goals, 6. Waikerie, Loxton 4-8 on the Bitmac surfacing scoreboard.
The difference from mine, Nobby, is Waikerie look more dangerous going forward.
Done it so much easier.
Nobby, look who's coming to the bench.
Uh-oh.
It's Dustin Gordon.
He's shaking his head.
He doesn't look good.
Oh, no.
Bit of concussion?
No, I'm thinking knee. Left knee.
He doesn't look good. He's shaking the head. I think he's going straight into the rooms here, boys.
Which doesn't look good for the Pies should they get through today.
So Loxton have now got the footy on half-back through Luke Harder.
I will say, I thought he was gone last week. So you can make a recovery as Loxton do win the ball across half-back. Fisher goes to Big Craig. Fisher, Colbert from Waikerie wins the ball. Throws it out. Good tackle there from Majestic Will. Umpire circling, throwing it up.
Now, boys, Luke Salmon was the opponent for Dustin. Does that then release him? Yeah.
So Fisher and Colbert do the ruck work. Matt Spenceley, good bit of play through some traffic. Manages to get a wild kick out the back, but I think Luke Harder's looking hungry. There he is again.
Well
Benny
done.
Smith. Now, I'll tell you what, Benny Smith is a contender for our hardest work, a hard moment this afternoon. He has been in and amongst it all day on halfback.
He's just so clean.
Yep.
Below his knees. Good role player.
So another ball up just on centre wing. Craig Fisher tapped down to Evans. Evans through the contest. Over the top, Doobs to your man Luke Harder.
Luke Harder kicks long up towards Raph Little at centre half forward. Couldn't take it. Surrounded by Waikerie opponents. Smythe for Waikerie takes the ball, gets tackled. Umpire going to throw it up.
Guys, does it look like Loxton are starting to win more of the ball around the contest and a bit easier?
Yeah, and I think the fact they're taking ground now, Nobby, that's the one thing. Umpire throws it up. Waikerie going to win it. This is where they get a bit of easy ball. Jared B goes up. Hits Macca, replace out, couldn't take it. Picked up from Lockie Bradley, goes across to Lockie Evans. Evans will go take a bounce. This is the man they need to get hands on the footy in the last quarter.
Yeah, he wouldn't kick that because too many players behind the ball. Waikerie.
Gets it over to Gucci. Gucci goes down the line to Campbell. He's strong in the air, couldn't take it. Good defensive work from Lockie Nitschke. And that's a good battle to those two young blokes.
Sure is.
Lockie Nitschke is back up from the under-18s. He's already in the grand final next week. Doobs, could he be in two?
Yeah, gee, wouldn't that be a good day out? If you won both of them. But he's got to think about this game. They've got a game to win. Gucci gets it, needs to release the ball. That's holding it. First gives William.
He should have given that straight to Romeo, shouldn't he?
Oh, it's Tim Bevan saying who's got the footy. And they're going to get a 25-metre penalty here for something.
Didn't give the ball back quick enough. Gave the ball back to the wrong player.
I think they were trying to get Spenceley manned up.
So, kick sideways. There he is again, Benny Smith. In across half-back, finds Braun. Braun over the top. He's going to find his old mate Ben Venning, who's got an absolute paddock out there. No one is near him. Takes a bounce. And he's going to kick into the attacking 50, looking for a target. Hans there. He flew high.
That's a free kick.
And
the umpires actually paid it against Hahn, even though Hahn was pushed onto the
I don't know about that. Harder's down behind play in this contest.
Luke Harder's taken a long time to get up.
I reckon he's done a shoulder.
He's holding his... Yeah, he doesn't look good.
No, he'll play on.
He's taken the contest.
He's going to tell the runner Les Lange to get out of his side. He's not coming off.
Kicks over the top.
Bradley on the run, on the wing. Loxton looking dangerous.
Les Lange giving him a pat on the back. President/trainer. The ultimate combination. The Magpies now with the footy kicking towards half forward. There he is again. Mitch Hard goes one way, goes the other. Turns back inside. He looked for his mate in Cooper Backrath. He was unable to pick it up. Umpires called a free here, and I reckon that's going to go to Loxton. It is.
Harder.
He's a tough bloke, isn't he?
He's making the play, I tell you what.
On half back.
He plays on quickly. He finds Johnny Fisher. Comes across the ground laterally as Ross Romeo on half back flank. Spenceley to stand the mark. Next kick's important. Got to lead across.
They're trying not to kick it to Geeman here at half back.
Ruckman has to contest here. Big Fisher. He's not going to get there. Little will fly. Braun takes it out of bounds.
You'd say Braun's been possibly their best defender today?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the one man that struggles against Renmark, the way Renmark play.
To see what's going to go on here. They got a ball in. Colbert and Fisher doing battle.
Harder looks in trouble behind play, guys.
He's not wanting to come off. Les is giving him a talking to, saying, come on, lad.
He's probably got to punch his lung after getting hit that hard.
Yeah.
He's got the water bottle.
Magic water bottle. Where's the sponge?
Yeah, I think Les is trying to say, come on, mate, just have a couple of minutes off. We've got a big quarter and maybe a big game next week. Out of the contest.
I'm thinking if he won't come off, I'm thinking lead him into the forward pocket for a while. If you're going to leave him.
You had some mail during the week about Luke Harder, didn't you, Nobby?
It was a whisper, Trav. It was a whisper.
Oh, it's another ball up after another one.
And here at 5RM, not like other local radio stations, we don't do it until we confirm it.
We might want to be careful with that, Nobby, but it is a whispers segment only. Yeah. And Jake Spenceley grabs Gucci around the head a little bit too high. It wasn't really Jake's fault there, though. Gucci does sort of go...
You think he does a bit of
it wasn't a duck. He just...
Did he do a bit of Ginnivan there,
He was trying to break the tackle is what I was trying to say. Finds its way to Jonty Bates on the forward flank.
This next goal is the one, isn't it?
Jonty Bates, kick back inboard, finds Lockie Evans, the number 4. They need a big fourth quarter from him. Inboard, finds Ross Romeo. Romeo now kicks into the attacking 50, looks for Harder. If you don't mind.
Now that could be the mark of the day for MTESA, Lockie Winnell.
Yep, they are your market. They are your apprentice and trainee specialists, and they are the proud sponsors of the mark of the day. Luke Harder now coming back in. He's had a big fourth quarter so far. He looked like he was coming off for a rest earlier, but Luke Harder now with the footy. This to get the Tigers within a goal. Can they do it? He's kicking to the town end. Luke Harder, the Waikerie supporters are giving him absolutely everything on the hill this afternoon, Dupes.
Just like playing at Alberton Oval back in the day. He would rub this, and he's kicked the goal.
Look, fellas, he has picked the Tigers up, put them on his back and said, come with me, fellas. We're going to the grand final.
Where does he rate in recruits of the last sort of...
Oh, he's easily in the top 5.
I tell you what, if he happens to lead them through to next week, that'll keep going up, that ranking.
Now it's the Waikerie Magpies, 6-6-42. Loxton, 4 goals, 8-38. There's less than a kick in it.
Gee whiz, if you were one of these teams that didn't have a coach for 2023...
You having a chat to him?
No, not yet.
Well, you're getting the Rook Kingston Warriors going again, Nobby.
We were thinking about it. I think we could around him.
Mate, you get a spot in the... you'd be a shoe-in for the River...
Dubrick and Norton in the forward pockets.
Yep, and bring back the great Travis Voigt.
Yep,
yes.
You'd be in the Murray Valley Football Netball Association. I can see that for 2023. Back in the centre, it is 5-round football for McDonald's Redmark. Matt Spenceley now with the footy. A wild handball. Finds its way to Jared B.
Good hands.
He finds Tim Bevan back inboard. Tim Bevan picks and kicks up. Looks up Craig Miller in the forward. He was unable to mark it.
Through it.
Play on, umpire Tony Florence says, and the Tigers clear it out. And there he is, Ross Romeo, who has lifted in this third and fourth quarter. Finds Jonty Bates, another one that's lifted in recent times.
Lachlan Evans also having an influence in this quarter too, fellas.
So Bates will play on now. We're playing for Keats. 4-point lead to Waikerie. Playing on the home ground. Kicks up towards Littlewood, centre half forward. Couldn't take it. Players circling around. Waikerie want to try and hold the ball in. Loxton trying to get it out. And I'll tell you what, 6-6 to 5-8.
Would you say that this is the first time the Tigers have had the Magpies under real pressure?
It's the first time I've been excited in the commentary box for a good month, Nobby. We've seen some shocking games. But it's come alive all of a sudden.
10 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. Fourth quarter, 5-round football for McDonald's Redmark. I don't want to throw it out there, but overtime, boys.
No.
We're going to see a repeat of some netball from last night.
No, I'm thinking a goal after the siren.
Oh, here he is. It's Jesse Will, kicks into the attacking 50. Luke Harder, another good mark.
He has still got, he's lifting him up onto his back, boys.
He's got to punch it along, a la Dermot Brereton. And he's taken the mark. Big whopper Harder.
Wonder what Les Lange said to him in that little bit of counsel.
You know what he
before.
said to him? He said, Luke, we want to get on your back. Take us to the final.
I'm going to get a screenshot of that a little bit later.
The man with a very high football IQ is Luke Harder. Yep. His training days out at Panther Park. Comes in on the left foot. This is to put the Tigers in front. He comes in. It's coming back. It's just
enough.
Missed.
Handy point, though.
Minor score.
They're all handy at this stage when you're only trailing by 3.
6-6-42 leads Loxton. 5 goals, 9.
It's one of these games, isn't it, Nobby, though? Like, you trail all day. The hardest thing is to get in front.
Yeah, it is, and I got a feeling if you do happen to get your nose in front, that sends all sorts of shockwaves through the opposition.
3 points the difference. 11 and a half minutes played in this fourth quarter. 5-round football for McDonald's Renmark. The Magpies now kicking down the line to a big contest. Doesn't go anywhere. Someone tried to claim the mark, but now another one has as well. That's not how footy works, boys.
Gee, fellas, the longer this game goes on, the more I'm starting to like the game of Craig Fisher.
Yeah, he's good, but he's been a good footballer for the Waikerie Footy Club.
Yeah.
Centre wing, outer side. Players will Loxton try and get it forward. Gets it over to that man. Lockie Evans.
He handballed that. Oh, come
it's
on.
good, holding the ball.
I think he was already getting tackled when he was doing that.
Spenceley takes the relieving free kick, kicks it out wide.
Is that going to be the pivotal point?
Finds Jack Grieger. Plays on quickly. Hits the nice 45 kick out to Daesh. Over to Spenceley. The Magpies combine now well with the use of the footy over to Brendan Moon. Moon has his teammate out there wide. Bevan handballs it over. Kicks inside now, looking for Big Burgermeister. Well done, Salmon for Loxton. Gets the ball to the boundary line. That's what you can ask the defender to do.
No one beats him to the contest, do they?
He's given a bloke probably 3 or 4 inches too. And he's
Waikerie changing their rucks. Don't worry, Fisher.
Burgermeister gets the tap through to Jake Spenceley and another kick, but it's found Romeo.
He's got to go to Harder.
In the back line.
Switch here.
Josh Mann's calling for it. He's screaming for it in the other pocket. So
Gucci and Harder both out here.
Kicks down the line. It's a loose footy. No. Steve Heusler now with the footy. Rebound kick into the attacking 50.
Good tackle. That's holding the ball.
A soccer off the ground. It's still a hot footy. Who's going to get the contest here? What's going to happen? It's out the back and a kick from Jared B, but it's been smothered.
Romeo,
and this will go out of bounds.
His second half
has
been
around
good.
him. That's a great defensive work from Romeo.
His second half's been solid.
The Magpies lead by 3 points.
Plenty of time to go.
After having a 4-goal lead.
After Nobby Norton said the game was done.
He booked him into the grand final for next week.
Boys, I was just trying to get someone fired up.
Yes, and it's a good call. It's got to be Dash. Free kick here to the Magpies. No, go to Loxton.
Another ball up, I reckon. Another throw-in, I reckon it is.
I reckon it's a free kick, isn't it?
Back to the red-shirted boundary umpire.
Yep.
Okay.
So have another crack at that one,
Throw
lad.
it in far
Probably
enough.
say kick it in, son, if you can't throw it that far.
You'll be right. You'll get this one in. And it's good to see they have another crack. I think the AFL let a few too many dodgy centre bounces go just quietly.
Oh,
Good, lovely
throw it
throw
up.
in from the boundary umpire.
Sure
Loxton
can.
tried to clear it out. Gucci was wrapped up hard.
Gee whiz, he hadn't stopped trying, has he? Harder up here at the middle of the ground with Beaver Venning.
The Tigers haven't been in a grand final since 2009.
Oh, he's missed it.
Oh.
Ooh,
He liked it off the boot. The quick snapshot from Moon.
gee, that leaves Loxton in the game.
A minor score.
Played 15 minutes. 5-room footy for McDonald's in Renmark. We got the close one today, guys.
Yep. That's how we like them. Prelim finals are often better than the big ones.
Well, if next week's anything like this, let's hope it's an absolute ripper. Kale Smith with the footy in the back pocket for Loxton. Kicks out to the back flank. They all fly up
Over
as
the back,
Brody Hill
Schmicker.
over the back. Takes a bounce. Looks down the wing. Has another bounce.
Keep going.
Looking for another player. Can't really find anyone. Oh, Luke Harder back in board, but it was a small kick. He didn't quite mark it. And Jared B gets it to Ben Vanning for Waikerie over to Heusler. And now the Magpies do this all so well. And there's Daesh.
Shot him and no one coming forward from
He's
the Tigers.
got a bit of room. Daesh wheels around run.
How
Shot on
far
goal
did he- how
from
far did he
45
run?
out.
How far did he run?
Yeah,
the
good
answer
call,
is
Nobby.
too far.
Good call. The actual umpire who wasn't on that bit of play is called that. Umpire Kasolki, good
He
umpire.
didn't quite run as far as Patrick Cripps did that day. He kicked that goal against Crows. That was only 35 metres.
Yeah.
So Loxton now controlling the footy across half back. Lovely pass over the top there.
Salmon again. Gee whiz, he's come into his own too.
Oh, he's a superstar.
Kicks back inboard looking for Lockie Bradley. Dangerous kick, but he marked it.
Been relieved to the tagging job
Yep.
too. Had to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, they rolled the dice. You can't win by defending.
Goes back across. Looks for Shea Lange. Lange on the outer side will go to Campbell. Leads up the ground. No,
Salmon.
it's Salmon again.
Get your legs going, mate. You're the one. You can lead them.
Salmon will just kick short down the line. Johnny Fisher. And he's got room to play on.
Harder
He will
down
do
here
it.
in Pagan's paddock. They just need to get it one more kick.
Oh, he's been held off the ball. The Loxton player there in
I think that was Jonty Bates.
Jonty Bates looking
Gee
for the
whiz,
free kick.
He
He's
hits
unlucky.
in hard, doesn't he?
He's
And it's
unlucky.
Spills out of bounds just in front of the club rooms here. 16 minutes gone. Fourth quarter Riverland football. 5 from McDonald's Renmark. Waikerie lead by 4 points.
Bevan wins the clearance, goes back. Johnny Fisher will combine there, but Jake Spenceley up to it. Over to Matt Spenceley. It's like a broken record. Just keep kicking it to each other. Down the line to Brendan Moon for the Magpies. Moon will hold the ball in. Umpires throwing it up. We played 16 and a half minutes. Time on beckoning. Waikerie holding on to a 4-point lead. Can the Magpies get into, what did I hear you say this morning? It's 7 for 8 for 9 for 10th grand final in a row.
Everyone since 2014 they've been in.
Oh, there you go. Loxton looking to get into one since 2009 and looking to win their first premiership, I think, since 2006.
Yep, 06, 09. That was a windy, shocking day at the Lakeside. And what's interesting is next week's at the Lakeside too, dudes.
Yeah, ooh, this is getting spooky.
And that was against Renmark as well, Loxton. Renmark won that day, so that's
Yeah.
probably not good news for Loxton
Boys,
supporters.
both teams manned up to a man here. No one loose behind the ball either end.
So coaching starting to happen.
Now Loxton slip on back, but Waikerie got the free kick.
Get the bronze cheer for the free kick from the home crowd. They kick inside now. Looking up there, good mark too. It's got to be that man Burgermeister. It's been a Colossus up forward. Kicks in short. Good lead out wide. Couldn't take it. Loxton will fight in numbers. Ball's going to travel out of bounds. Going to get a free kick, the Tigers. Trailing by 4 points. Time on beckoning. Nobby Norton. Can they get the
Kasolki
winning
gets up
goal?
with the free kick.
One goal left in the game, I reckon.
Yep. The next goal wins it either way.
Shea Lange with the footy. Small kick back inboard. Finds Lachlan Evans.
Gee, he's had a fair bit of the ball this quarter.
Just holds station for a second and kicks back and finds Shea Lange in the other pocket. The Loxton Tigers look to do the switch. Josh Mann is the target. He got a hand to it, but out of bounds.
Gee, clever play by Steve Braun. Gave him
Just pressed
gave him a little bit of room, so they kick it to him, and then said, "That's where I'm going as well."
Pressing up nicely, the Magpies. They're holding a 4-point lead. 6-7 plays 5-9.
You can't help but feel all Tigers have to do is get it into Luke Harder's vicinity here up forward, and something could happen. But he's 2 kicks away from the play.
I'm thinking you give it 2 minutes, and then he goes up the ground, and he makes the play. Waikerie have it through Spenceley. Over to Matt Spenceley. Going to go backwards, go forward. He kicks inside. Contest beckoning up there, looking for the big fellas. Well done by Cale Smith. Ball goes out of bounds. So both teams with a few injuries. I think there's going to be some stories to tell going into grand final week.
Here we go, 19 minutes gone on the Nippies clock, 4th quarter. We are nearly into overtime, Dupes.
It's going to be a climatic finish here. Can Loxton go the length for the ground? Waikerie inside. They just want a quick goal. Could be made it enough. It's going to be a minor score from Moon.
That is better for Loxton than anything else.
Gives them the footy back.
Yep. I can't see Talon Eagle anywhere, Dupes.
You know, he came off before.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while.
Loxton kick in. Johnny Fisher in the pocket. Waikerie will allow that kick.
They can't go back into that back pocket.
No.
They've got to go down the middle. And it's too late once the play stops to change direction.
They need a mark here. Going for the big Fisher. Braun just punches it back inside 50. Langy comes out, gets tackled. Gets to get the handball. He's going to be circling. Umpire Charlton says, no prior opportunity, Shay. Give me the ball. We're into time on. We're playing for keeps. We have 5 points to play.
Timmy Bevan guarding the middle of the ground.
Oh, and umpire's saying something. Free kick to Loxton on half back.
Could they get another point? Then Loxton go coast to coast for the draw.
Ooh.
44 plays 39.
Here we go.
Magpies. Punch forward
Big
from the Magpie defenders. Here he is. Ross Romeo tries to hunt down the footy, but ushered over the line.
Playing at the Waikeries' hands now, just kicking long down the line. They've got to take the risk on, try and hit the centre kick up.
They've got to go down the middle,
and risk losing the game to kick the winning goal. Not much time left now. That's what the runner would be saying to them.
Here it is. Shay Langy's in the driver's seat if the ball gets over the back. There he is. Kicks the ball clear to Raph Little, being held.
Oh, here they are. They get the ball out the open now. Loxton over to Evans. He runs through the centre of the ground. Kicks up towards 50. It's Harder versus 3 of them. He's going to get the first lap as Luke Harder. Oh, well done by Miller, though. Over to Venning. The 2 old veterans combined. That's great work. Venning just punches it out wide. It's going to come back in. It's going to be Kasulki on the left foot. Has the young fella Campbell out there. Very, well, as to say, the signs his years at 16 years old. He kicks inside. They're looking for a mark. Players will fly. Well done by Mr. Waikerie. Stephen Braun takes the intercept mark and kicks Waikerie out towards Benning Smith now. The Magpies, that might be Loxton's chance is gone.
That was it, I think.
Over towards Daich. They need to hold the ball up. Loxton need to force the turnover. Forget the zone, Shay Langy. Man up and win the football back to your team.
Waikerie with plenty
of players. They've got a 2-on-1. Loxton. They need to go. Big Fish is going to get the handball.
Get it on
he
the
looks
boot,
out.
son.
He does. Gets it out towards Wrightstein. Wrightstein butchers the kick. Loxton still a chance through Campbell. Comes in the Gucci. Players flying everywhere. We're playing for keeps now.
Oh, Trav, I tell you what, it's got to be less than a minute left. Loxton need a mark in the 50.
Off they go again. Again, Waikerie just want this Nobby Norton. They just want to hold it in tight and take time off the clock. There it is. The Magpies are through to the big one next week. Loxton, well, they wouldn't be denied. They had a chance going forward late. But Waikerie, 6 goals, 8-44 have defeated Loxton 5-9, 39 by 5 points. Nobby Norton in the preliminary final.
Yeah, both sides out on their feet on the ground. They gave everything. Both sides. Tigers took it right up to Waikerie and put them under the pump. If you were Renmark Rovers, you'd be thinking, gee whiz, I don't mind this with a week off. But never mind. Waikerie earned their right into the big game next week. But Loxton, gee whiz, you can't say they didn't give it a fair income go. Probably couldn't quite get it forward or centre and up in that last quarter.
Yeah, 5 goals, never going to be enough.
I mean, the big fella Luke Harder put him on his shoulders and he carried him all the way to the edge, but couldn't quite get him over the line.
You're listening to 5am Riverland football for McDonald's in Renmark. Are we going back to Trevor Scott?
Trev, hopefully Trev will have a result for us from Ramco, but until we do, look, I thought Waikerie were very, very gallant in withstanding that comeback from Loxton, and they did it without Dustin Gordon, who limped off the ground earlier in the quarter. So you'd be sort of starting to think, is he available next week?
So open the door next week for a maybe a young Cade Hilton to come into the forward line.
Well, they'll both want to play in the under-18s, I think. The captain, Lockie Nitschke, the under-18 captain, will be...
Don't get many chances of playing A-grade grand finals.
True.
But you're only 18 once.
Yep. It will happen over the Brendan Moon send-off, Trav. Didn't really see it here, but you got to be thinking he was sent off for a reason.
It was the old.
It was a... You reckon it might have been the straight...
Oh, it was a jab.
Right, yeah. Well, you know, if it was AFL, he'd just get a fine.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you're allowed to strike in the AFL. But hey, in saying that, all credit to Waikerie.
To his credit, Moon went off, took his time, and came back on much more in a better frame of mind and worked his way through it. Good sign.
Yep. Hey, look, I can't see Dustin Gordon out there at all. Shaking hands. I think he's straight into the ice bath.
He knew his knee was gone, or something was gone. Look at him when he walked off.
So the Pies, you're thinking they weren't quite as bad as the scoreboard had them last week?
I don't think they were. Watching the, if you get a chance this week, Nolly, go back and have a look at a few sections of that game.
So they're in amongst it. Well, while we're waiting for that, Trav, you got the goal scorers there today?
I have got some goal scorers there. Forgive me, because for Loxton, sorry, 2 to Johnny Fisher, 1 to Jesse Will, 1 to Harley Campbell, and of course 1 to big Luke Harder.
Yep.
In the last quarter there. Waikerie, you've got singles Spenceley, Heusler, Bevan and Hahn, and a couple to Dustin Gordon. So
those 2 he kicked in the third quarter. You know, at the end of the day, he really set them alight, didn't he, in a game that was sort of going nowhere for a while, wasn't it? It's a bit of an arm wrestle.
Loxton getting, let's touch on Waikerie, carrying Craig Miller off.
Yeah, great 250, and he gets to play 251 next week in a grand final.
Maybe his last game at A-grade level.
Not so sure.
He's not done for mine yet.
All right, boys, sorry about that. Just a couple of things going on. We're going to wrap things up here. We'll be back very soon here at 5RM Football. Thank you.